We are live at CollectCo for Monday night's live Facebook record sale. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know. We are here. We are ready to sell. We hope that you're ready to watch. More importantly, we hope you're ready to buy. Let's share this in a whole lot of records. Let's share it in a couple other groups. And let's get started. Let's go over here and get this also shared on our Instagram story, which will also share it to our Facebook story. Alrighty. Monday morning. You sure feel fine. Friday, I've got traveling on my mind. That's Fleetwood Mac. Alrighty. Boom. Alright, let's pull up our chat. Let's get going here. I'm literally at the Pablo Cruz show in Pittsburgh right now. Wow. Kelly's literally at a Pablo Cruz concert. Well, you've got us all beat. They're playing in Nashville soon. I've had only 1 billion people ask me if I'm going. And my same answer is, I don't think I can that night. Also, that means we'd have to miss a show. I don't think it's worth missing a show for Pablo Cruz. Just joking. That would be pretty cool. Alrighty. Let me go ahead and show some stuff. I can't buy anything. My wife is going to kill me eventually. Well, David, that means as soon as she does that, that means I can buy your records. So maybe you should buy more. Okay. Let's go through the first crate. I think this is a crate from last week. I've got new stuff, new restocks. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 crates of vintage. Then we'll do some buy it now best offer. I think somewhere behind the counter. Actually, let me go try to find that right now. I also look forward to eating some of Meemaw's meatloaf later, Seth. Seth has got Meemaw's meatloaf. I do have a high-end bin. There's the Dean crate, which most of that is sold. And I do have this crate here with some random, here's some randomness I found in the office. I cleaned out, quote, our office, which used to be my office, which I never did use. But when the flood hit last year, almost 2 years ago now, well, 1.5 years ago, it pretty much we got rid of my, quote, office and made it storage, so. All right. Got here, and the first thing here is Pablo Cruz. Hopefully that's not omen. No, one of our longtime customers is at a Pablo Cruz concert right now. All right, let's go ahead and see what we have in here. So 5 crates of new vintage, 4 crates of new vinyl, counting this one, which is a warm-up crate. I have these in stock. Halloween is approaching. I'm really going to dedicate some time this year to watch some classic Halloween movies that I've never seen in my life, because there are so many I've never seen. So that's what I'm going to be doing this Halloween season. I'm going to get caught up on all the classic Halloween films. This is now, that's what I call Halloween, which is a 2 LP on purple and orange vinyl. That is $29.99. That's an 18-track Halloween party compilation for $29.99. We've got 2, 4, 6 of those left for the moment. Now, if you like the Allman Brothers, then that means you like Greg Allman. And if you like Greg Allman, you're going to like this album. This is Greg Allman, Laid Back, 100% analog masters. This is a 33 1/3 from Analog Productions. It has his classic song, These Days, and then also his rendition, solo rendition of Midnight Rider. Overall, it's a great album, and that is the ultimate listening experience from Analog Productions. That is $49.99. The best of Billy Idol. Billy Idol has always been one of our best sellers. This is the ultimate Billy Idol. This is the very best of Billy Idol for $33.99. It's a 2 LP compilation of Billy Idol music, including Generation X. It also has some bonus tracks. That is $33.99. That is the very best of Billy Idol. The very best. Switchfoot, the beautiful letdown, our version. Pressed on swimming pool clear vinyl. Now, Switchfoot is a 20th anniversary edition, and from what I understand, Switchfoot is kind of like doing the Taylor Swift thing where they couldn't get rights to their music, so they've done our version. So this is Switchfoot, the beautiful letdown, our version, 20th anniversary, $39.99. So I think some companies or some artists are starting to do that if they can't get their rights. They're starting to do our versions. Also, LL Cool J, Mama Said Knock You Out, $33.99. LL Cool J. Volbeat, Outlaw Gentlemen and Shady Ladies. Volbeat, we're down to 2 copies of those. They are $33.99. And the newest release from last week from Towns Van Zandt, which is Live in Johnson City, Tennessee. And this is from Mind Control. It says limited to 500, made in the EU. I'm assuming this is unofficial, but it did come from one of my main distributors who don't really deal in unofficials or bootlegs or counterfeits. So this is this unofficial is from an official distributor. So take that as you want it. But that is Johnson City, Tennessee, $29.99. The Hunter, Ike and Tina Turner, $33.99. Ike and Tina Turner. Mammoth, Wolfgang Van Halen. I do have black vinyl, which I don't know why you would want that, because I have yellow vinyl in stock. Mammoth 2, Wolfgang Van Halen, that is $39.99. I've got those on yellow vinyl. Ignore the black vinyl there. Mother's Milk, Red Hot Chili Peppers, that's $38.99. And Rush, Fly By Night. This is actually supposed to be my other crate of random stuff that I found. But if anybody wants that, there's Rush Fly By Night, $39.99. All right, let's see if there's anybody else that I missed. Any high-end? I do have kind of a high-end crate prepared for tonight. Sort of, yes. Next comment is like the UT Alabama football game. I will be at that. That's something else I'll be doing this fall. Cynthia Hertrin wants Rush. This is so Cynthia Hertrin. Switchfoot was how much? Switchfoot was $39.99. Cynthia, we got you down for a Rush. And for those that asked, I haven't got an invoice. Those are still being sent. Just buckle up. They're coming.
I need to check if they don't have. I have a lot of customers.
Tanner has said there was a lot of new customers he didn't have emails for.
Not even new, like some. So.
And some old customers who hadn't bought from us a while since we've been sending them via email. So if you're waiting for an invoice, make sure we have your email on file. So maybe if you hadn't got an invoice yet, if you normally get it through email, then you're fine. But maybe if you hadn't bought from us a while, if you're new, make sure the message you sent us does have your email in that message. Okay. Next is Switchfoot. We got that. Any other LL Cool J in print? No, somebody else asked for LL Cool J. They was just like, what could you get? I ordered that one because it was the only one available, and that's the only one I could get. All right, let's do a crate of new stuff. I got a crate of trinkets and miscellaneous records, and then I have some new stuff here. So let's do new stuff first. Any Zeppelin. I have every Zeppelin album in stock. Every one of them. You just got to name it, and I'll tell you a price. Mother's Milk OG. Mother's Milk is a new remastered pressing. No OG Red Hot Chili Peppers in stock. Those are hot commodities. I wish. If we have a Red Hot Chili Peppers OG, it is gone. Let me print out the waiting list sheet because I'm about to show y'all some stuff that we have waiting list for. So let me do that right now. Stuff that people were waiting to come in. So let me do that right now. I'm waiting. If you can hear my printer, it's printing. There's page 1. Oh, it's printing double-sided. Saved a piece of paper. I was expecting 2 sheets. It came out as 1. All right, because there is some stuff in here people was on waiting list for. All right, presents. We have Led Zeppelin presents in stock for $31.99. They're somewhere right over here. Led Zeppelin presents is $31.99. I have most of Red Hot Chili Peppers in stock too. Red Hot Chili Peppers would be in stock too. Californication, all those other ones, they're in stock. Okay, Led Zeppelin Presents is $31.99. That's new and sealed. Led Zeppelin Presents, new and sealed. That's new and sealed. Creed Human Clay is $39.99. Creed Human Clay is $39.99. Also, Pearl Jam Aladdin Las Vegas is $39.99. Pearl Jam Aladdin Las Vegas is a live unofficial from 1993. That is $39.99. Creed is $39.99 as well. That's the 20th anniversary best-selling, one of the best-selling albums of all time. Higher is on that one. What If? What, or the track is Are You Ready? And What If? Led Zeppelin, The Lost Sessions BBC broadcast, 1969. This is $44.99. Led Zeppelin, there was David Howard. You was on a waiting list for that. That is, I believe, silver vinyl, silver-colored vinyl. Led Zeppelin, The Lost Sessions, BBC broadcast, 1969, $44.99. By the way, if anybody wants to buy anything, if you're new, if you do want Led Zeppelin, if you want Pearl Jam, anything you want, please let me know. Only thing you have to do is put Led Zeppelin or Presents or anything else, and I'll know that you're buying it. Otherwise, I don't know what you're buying unless you actually say Led Zeppelin or Presents or Pearl Jam or Slipknot, and then I'll sell it to you, because at that point I realize that you're claiming to buy it. Slipknot, self-titled, limited edition lemon yellow vinyl. Slipknot, there was a waiting list for that. Tony Barrara and John Duran. Tony Barrara and John Duran was on a waiting list for Slipknot self-titled album. I've got 2 or 3 more of those if anybody else wants one. Slipknot, Slipknot, Slipknot. Also another Pearl Jam live unofficial. This is Jammin' Down South. Pearl Jam, Jammin' Down South, the Fox Theater, Atlanta 3rd, April 1994. That's on red vinyl, $36.99 for Pearl Jam. Also, The Cars, Shake It Up. The Cars is limited edition neon green vinyl. The Cars remaster, that is on green vinyl. Shake It Up, Since You're Gone. That is $31.99. Is Upflip Mofo Party Plan available as a reissue? No, it's not. That album by Red Hot Chili Peppers is not in print. I've got a big restock on Queen albums, because our Queen bin, after we pulled some other albums on sale, pretty much only left 2 Queen albums. So I went through and restocked most of their albums. So if you want a Queen album tonight, please comment the actual name of the album. That is The Game. Also, Creed, My Own Prison is $31.99. Creed, My Own Prison, that is $31.99. Van Halen, self-titled, or excuse me, Van Halen 1984. Van Halen 1984 is $31.99. This is the Bernie Grudman, Chris Bellman. These are excellent. These are cut. If you didn't realize that, all the new Van Halen albums are 100% analog, which is pretty incredible since they're only about $30. Those are 100%. If you've never listened to these new Van Halen remasters, they are incredible, especially for the price. We have, I think, all of them in stock, the David Lee Roth years. The Sammy Hagar stuff is coming out in a couple months. This is a Queen unofficial we've never had before. 1985, Rock in Rio, the classic 1985 broadcast. Never had that before. That's a Queen unofficial for $39.99. And I've got some other Tom Petty's that we haven't had in stock for a while. Tom Petty, this one is Echo, $39.99 for Tom Petty Echo. Also, Queen's Greatest Hits, $39.99. That's an Abbey Road half-speed master, $39.99. I think Chris DeMoss wants the Queen Rock in Rio. Chris, I think that is the one you wanted. If so, that's so do you. That's an unofficial we've never had before. We have Changes 1, David Bowie, $31.99. Van Halen 3 has never been reissued or reprinted. That is not available. That's something else in the deep Van Halen catalog that will maybe one day get repressed. This is a David Bowie Greatest Hits, 40th Anniversary Edition. Changes, $31.99. Also, Extreme Pornograffiti. Extreme Pornograffiti is $39.99. So here's how the Van Halen catalog works. Everything from their first album to 1984 is in print. Those are Bernie Grunman, Chris Bellman analog reissues. They're 100% analog remasters. We have all those in stock. The next batch is Sammy Hagar, which is everything from 5150, I guess all the way to Unlawful Carnal Knowledge. Those have never been reissued until now. We have a pre-order up in our group. There's a pre-order up. We have 109 pre-orders right now on the 5 LP box set. Those will be due out, I think, in October. First time those have ever been reissued. Now, anything, I guess, Van Halen after that, Van Halen 3, what's the one with the train on it? There's a couple other albums. Those are still long out of print. I guess that's something else they'll probably put out soon. I'd say within the next 8 months, year. The Japanese singles box set, Van Halen. The Japanese singles box set, 13 Japanese 7-inch singles on red vinyl, $144.99. $144.99. I've had one of these before. Very cool. It's a Japanese Van Halen singles box set, $144.99. That's sold to John Minsmoyer. Those are new and sealed, and I can get more of those if anybody else wants it. Also, if you missed it, the new Black Crows that's on splatter vinyl has finally arrived. Let me make sure I pulled all these. I don't think I pulled them. I didn't. Let me pull up. How many names I got on that? 2, 4, 6, or did I pull them? Seems like I got too many left over. Let me see if I've got them over here in the crate. Did I put them in this bin? I didn't. I don't think I pulled them. I think I counted them, and I didn't pull them. I do have War Paint finally in. Croology is on this week's invoice that you're getting today. This is the War Paint album that was on splatter vinyl, and I do have a pre-order for that. Eddie Pasir, Scotty Hops, Brent Robley, Scott Corcoran, Mark Barbosa, Todd Tipton, George Buchanan, and Joe Gabriel. That's 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Maybe, I don't know what I did with those. That's weird because these aren't, that means I'm exactly sold out. So maybe, let me make sure I haven't pulled those out already because I should have at least 1 or 2 extras, but I don't guess I do. So no extra War Paint unless you want on a waiting list. I had 8 pre-orders and I guess they're all gone. I don't see them anywhere else. So yeah, those are all spoken for already. Okay, I've got some autographs. Our first auctions of the night are going to be some autographs. I meant to post these and get them hyped, but I took pictures of other autographs and I didn't have them hyped. I guess whoever wanted Van Halen, or excuse me, whoever wanted Led Zeppelin Presence did not want that, so I'll set that off to the side. Jerry Garcia, might as well. A Round Records retrospective. Jerry Garcia is $36.99. Jerry Garcia, Jim Anstant, you was on a waiting list for that. This is a collection of Jerry Garcia's most beloved solo studio recordings. $36.99 for Jerry Garcia. And that's our first crate of new vinyl. I'll go ahead and do a crate of vintage next. I've got new vintage stuff to show you. But first, I've got some auctions for some autographs. Check this out. God bless Tiny Tim. It is signed on the back by Tiny Tim himself. It says, I believe, January 29th, 1991. And then the rest of it's kind of hard to make out. Something Ridley, maybe. And then there's his signature. And that's definitely in the hand of Tiny Tim. Now, what somebody did, though, they took this back cover and they pretty much laminated it. So it's kind of laminated on the back. And the actual vinyl itself, if that means anything to you, it is completely trashed. So the vinyl's completely destroyed. But that is signed by Tiny Tim. That is a $20 start. Autographed Tiny Tim record. It's autographed on the back in blue Sharpie. Signed by Tiny Tim. That's a $20 start. Here's what's left in this bin. Creed, Human Clay. Pearl Jam, Aladdin Sane. Also Led Zeppelin, The Lost Sessions. Slipknot, Slipknot, Slipknot. Pearl Jam, Jammin' Down South. The Cars, Queen, Creed. Van Halen, Tom Petty, Queen, David Bowie, Extreme, Pornograffiti, and Jerry Garcia. That's our first crate of new stuff. I've got more coming. First, we'll do some vintage stuff. And let's see what we have here. Let's take a peek at our vintage. Got 5 crates. Got 5 crates. A lot of records being marked today. Good. They spent all day Sunday cleaning up the back. There was our back room. It just, I think I don't know who said it. Maybe John. But it's just like records just duplicate back here. They grow, even though we're not really buying. We hadn't bought a collection in a while, mostly because we have so much in the back. We're trying to thin out a little bit, and we've been selling for like a month straight now. Thousands of records going out the door, and we can't really tell we made a dent. We have the Age of Aquarius, the 5th dimension. Age of Aquarius is $12.99. Tower of Power. This is actually on a super disc. Back to Oakland. It's on a Nautilus super disc. And that is $39.99. Tower of Power, Back to Oakland. It's on a Nautilus super disc. $39.99. $12.99. Julie London, Gone with the Wind. Julie London is $14.99. The Dionne Warwick Story, A Decade of Gold. Dionne Warwick is sealed, $26.99. Jerry Garcia was not on colored vinyl. I have listened to 2 tracks off the newest Neil Young. If you're talking about Chrome Dreams, I'll listen to Sedan Delivery and what other, I think Too Far Gone, whichever ones was originally for sampling before the album came out. I hadn't listened to the full album though. Okay, next are these? Yeah, no condition notes on these. No condition notes on these. These are all EX plus to near mint minus. Creed, My Own Prison is available, $31.99. Van Halen 1984 is 180 gram remastered by Bernie Grundman, Chris Bellman. Yes, $31.99. Songs to Grow On, Woody Guthrie, $16.99. Songs to Grow On, Woody Guthrie. Hootenanny Special by Zenith Radio. New Christy Minstrels, Pete Seeger, Village Stompers, Bob Dylan's on there. $19.99, Hootenanny Special. Spotlight on Hank Ballard. That is a 1961 mono. The bottom seam is split, $64.99. $64.99. Spotlight on Hank Ballard. That's a 61 mono, $64.99. No condition notes with vinyl. The bottom seam is split. Keely Smith, I Wish You Love, $9.99. Hank Ballard and His Midnighters. This is Glad Songs, Sad Songs. That's a 1965 mono, $39.99. Very clean on that one. Hank Ballard and His Midnighters. It looks like they got into some stuff from that Texas collection. I hadn't seen these Hank Ballard records since I was loading those up in Dallas, Texas. That's how much those got buried in the back. I remember those. At least that's what I think they're from. Paul could probably be like, nope. But that's where I thought they were. The Psychic. This is when Dionne Warwick added an E onto the end of her last name at the advice of a psychic. Dionne Warwick. Wow, it is. There is an E. Warwick. There's an E on the end. Nice catch there, John. Also, A Gathering of Flowers, the anthology of the Mamas and Papas, includes many lyrics, rare and candid photos. This is a Mamas and Papas box set. Very interesting. 2-record set. $26.99. $26.99. Also, Loggins and Messina, So Fine, $9.99. Loggins and Messina, So Fine, $9.99. Ray Stevens, Greatest Hits Volume 2, $9.99. Jeff Beck with the Jan Hammer Group, $19.99. Jeff Beck Live with the Jan Hammer Group, $19.99. And Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, 4-Way Street. It has a hype sticker. Is that just loose in the sleeve? Yep, somebody saved the hype sticker. They cut it out and put it in the cover, it looked like. Also, it has the lyric insert, $39.99. I guess no interest in a Tiny Tim autograph unless somebody wants to buy it now for $20. Signed by Tiny Tim. If anybody wants that, it's a $20 buy it now. Okay, our next auction is, the record itself is usually a really good seller for us. It's Cinderella. It's about VG or VG plus condition. I'm going to say it's got a couple ugly looking scuffs right here, but they're non-feelers. So I'm going to, because of that, just call it VG plus or VG. I think it will play like a VG plus. Does have some cover damage. However, it's signed by the entire band. It's signed by all 4 members. It is personalized to Reagan. Whoever Reagan is, it says Reagan Shake Me and Reagan something else and Reagan Shake Me and Reagan XXOO. It's signed by all 4 members of Cinderella. So I'm going to start it probably like I would normally a VG Plus record, Cinderella, which is a $25 start. This is a $25 start. It's signed by the entire band, Cinderella. Those are authentic signatures. $25 start on Cinderella Night Songs, autographed by the band. Tiny Tim is an autographed Tiny Tim record. It's on God Bless Tiny Tim. The cover and the record is trashed. They've actually even doodled on his face, but it is signed by Tiny Tim. That's a $20 buy it now. $20 buy it now. All right, next up is the Everly Brothers reunion concert. The Everly Brothers is $22.99. Walter Egan, Not Shy. Walter Egan is $9.99. Eagles on the Border. Eagles on the Border is $32.99. And Louis Armstrong's Greatest Hits. Louis Armstrong Greatest Hits, $12.99. That's a Columbia 2i. That is a Columbia 2i. So back up to the top, we have Gavin's at 40 on Cinderella. Chris bid 25. Gavin's at 40. Unless Joel Swaney, unless you want the Tiny Tim autograph, we're going to sell that to Stacy Metternich for $20. Romelu is first on the Louis Armstrong. Kara Bauer is first on the Eagles. Cynthia, you were second on Louis Armstrong. Norton Buffalo, Lovin' in the Valley of the Moon. Norton Buffalo is $12.99. Earthstar, humans only. Earthstar is $22.99. And we have Paul McCartney, the USSR concert / broadcast. Paul McCartney is $19.99, and that's a Soviet Socialist Republic pressing. $19.99. Brian C. wants Norton. Norton Buffalo, that's sold to Brian C. And we have folk songs and instrumental music on the Southern Mountains. Folk song box set, 5 LPs, $29.99. Cinderella is an autographed copy of Night Songs. The cover is VG or VG minus because of this spot on the front. It's autographed by the entire band, all 4 members. It is signed by Cinderella themselves. Eric, Tom, Fred, and Jeff. It is at a $40 bid with Gavin Lesko. Gavin has that for $40. Little Jimmy Dickens Greatest Hits, $9.99. Little Jimmy Dickens Greatest Hits. Harry Belafonte is $9.99. Harry Belafonte. The Siegel Schwarl Band, $14.99. Siegel Schwarl Band. And the original motion picture score to Midnight Cowboy under John Barry, Everybody Talking, sung by Nilsson, $16.99. This looks like a very nice copy. It is. That is $16.99 for the Midnight Cowboy. Also, John Jarvis, So Fa, So Good. Fa is spelled F-A. That's $9.99. David Tate's at 50 on Cinderella. And Justin Wilson meets Gene John Barleycorn. Justin Wilson, $14.99. George Jones, we found heaven right here on earth at 403, $12.99 or 4033. First Winter, $26.99. Is this Johnny Winter? If so, I've never seen this one. First Winter in shrink wrap, Johnny Winter. Wow, I've never seen that one before. In shrink wrap, it's on Buddha. First Winter, Johnny Winter. Neil Young, Comes the Time, is $34.99. Also, Mitch Ryder, Look Ma, No Wheels. Mitch Ryder's $19.99. Scott Smith on Johnny Winter. David Tate has the autographed Cinderella. Boy, normally that's what we're selling like an autograph, or that's what we're selling normally a VG Plus Cinderella for. This is autographed by the entire band. Our next auction is autographed by Al Jardine of the Beach Boys. It says to Ron, Alan Jardine, the Beach Boys. He autographed it here in the gatefold. It is autographed Beach Boys Party by Al Jardine. If the vinyl means anything to you, it's about a VG Plus copy. That is signed by Al Jardine himself. One of the original longtime members of the Beach Boys. That's a $20 start. Beach Boys Party, $20 start, autographed by Al Jardine in the gatefold. Yes, Stacy, you got the Tiny Tim autograph for $20. Neil Young, well, I've already showed that. Where did we get to? Mitch Ryder, Paul Revere and the Raiders in the beginning, $24.99. Paul Revere and the Raiders in the beginning. That's a very clean looking copy. Also, the latest edition, John Mayall, $24.99. James Gang Thirds is $17.99 for the James Gang. The Days of Wine and Vinyl. The Days of Wine and Vinyl, $22.99. This looks like a Warner Brothers compilation. Could it be? It is one of the hundreds of Warner Brothers compilations. The Days of Wine and Vinyl. I see the Section, Captain Beefheart, Arthur Conley, Jesse Winchester, Tim Buckley, Arlo Guthrie. This is a 2 LP Warner Brothers compilation. Alex Corner, Still I Span, Jethro Tull. That is $22.99. $22.99. The Traveling Wilburys. Boy, that came out of nowhere. The Traveling Wilburys with the original inner sleeve. That is $64.99 on the Traveling Wilburys. And Jesus Christ Superstar. Jesus Christ Superstar is $19.99. Colonization, New Colony 6, $24.99 for the New Colony 6. That's on the Centaur label from Cameo Parkway. That is $24.99. All right, Gavin bid 52 on Cinderella. Next was Chris DeMoss. He wants the Warner Brothers comp Brooks Vaughter bid $55 on Cinderella, and we're looking for a $20 start on the autographed Beach Boys. It's signed by Al Jardine. That is a $20 start, which I think that's him right there underneath my sticky note. I know for sure that's him right there. That was Al. $20 start on that. Beach Boys Party. Village People, Live and Sleazy, $19.99. Kenny Rogers in the first edition, Back Roads, is $19.99. Outlaws, Lady in Waiting. Outlaws is a VG copy for $9.99. And Jamal Plays Jamal. Wow, this is $149.99. Ahmad Jamal, Jamal Plays Jamal. It's in shrink wrap from 1974, $149.99. Cinderella. Brooks is probably bidding on Cinderella, and she probably don't even know it's autographed. This is Cinderella, not songs. It's about a VG copy overall. Let's go ahead and call it a VG cover and a VG vinyl, but the back cover is autographed by the band. This is autographed by the band. That is at $61 with Gavin Lesko. $61 is the high bid. If anybody wants the Beach Boys autograph, that's a $20 buy it now. If anybody wants that autographed by Al Jardine. Paul Brothers is claiming the Traveling Wilburys. Human Clay was $39.99, Bob. $39.99. Let me do a quick recap on this. If anybody wants any prices, let me know. If anybody wants any prices, let me know. We have The Age of Aquarius, The Fifth Dimension. Tower of Power, Back to Oakland. Julie London, Songs to Grow On, Woody Guthrie, Hootenanny Special. Hank Ballard, Keely Smith, Hank Ballard. Dionne Warwick, also Mamas and Papas Collection. It's a box set with booklet. Loggins and Messina, Ray Stevens, Jeff Beck, Crosby, Stills and Nash, Everly Brothers. Walter Egan, Rare Earth, Paul McCartney. Folk Songs, Little Jimmy Dickens, Harry Belafonte, Siegel Schwarl. Midnight Cowboy, Darren Davis wants The Fifth Dimension. Let's tag that for Darren Davis. And from the other crate, let's give Bob Riger a Human Clay. Bob Riger, Human Clay. By the way, if anybody needs a Garth Brooks box set, I actually found this buried in our office. I've got the Garth Brooks vinyl box set, which is $49.99. This is 3, 4, 6, 7 LPs. 3, 4, 5, 7 LPs, $49.99. 7 LPs for $49.99. And that includes No Fences, The Chase, In Pieces, and Fresh Horses, some of his classic albums. And it's also got the triple live. I've got 3 of these. They're $49.99. That's the Garth Brooks. His stuff is, we can't order Garth Brooks records. We get these through collections and however else. You can't order Garth Brooks vinyl through distributors. They are he's very odd with his catalog. I'll put it that way. Okay, so we already pulled Fifth Dimension, right? For Darren Davis. Bob got Human Clay. Cinderella's at $63. Brooks is out. How much was the Southern Folk box set? Michael Nath, that was $29.99. $29.99. And then the 3 Garth Brooks box sets are sold to John Duran, Chris DiLorenzo, and Thomas Bowman. We will tag those right now. Let me hand them to Tanner. That is John Duran, Chris DiLorenzo, Thomas Bowman. Let's also write down Shane Deaver's name because we may have another set of 3 somewhere. I think there's another box in the office actually. So let's keep Shane Deaver's name handy. Garth Brooks box sets. These are sold. Gavin's at $64 on Cinderella. Michael Naff said he'll take the Southern Folk box. That's sold to Michael Naff. I'm doing a quick recap of this bin. I'm also got another really good autograph up for auction. I listened to this album. It's very nice and quiet. It has a couple scuffs on the vinyl, but this is Solomon Burke. Solomon Burke. It plays like an EX record. It's King Solomon by Solomon Burke. It's autographed by Solomon Burke himself. It's a very clean album from what it is. It's on a 2-tone Atlantic label, 1968. Very nice jacket. That's a $25 start, which I think should be for the record itself. It's very clean, very nice. It plays very well. I listened to both sides, and that's autographed by Solomon Burke. That's a $25 start. All right, so the Cinderella autographed record is between David Tate and Gavin. Gavin's at $64 on the autographed Cinderella record. I'm doing a quick recap of this bin. We got George Jones, also Neil Young, Mitch Ryder, Paul Revere, John Mayall, James Gang, Jesus Christ, New Colony 6, Village People, Kenny Rogers, Outlaws, and Ahmad Jamal. Okay, let me do Tower of Power details. Tower of Power was actually a Nautilus Super Disc, $39.99. It has some scuffs on it. Other than that, it looks very nice, especially for a Super Disc. $39.99. Tower of Power back to Oakland, Dave Plunkett. So I think I've already read through these one time, haven't I? Yeah, I believe so. Julie London, yes, I've already recapped those. If anybody needs any other information, please let me know. I did take pictures of these. I forgot to post them. I took pictures of about 7 autographs and this other record. I've got this record here. I don't know if I should. Let me show a corner of it. This normally goes on a hot post, right? Wow, what is that? Holy moly. That normally goes in a hot post, I believe. Did anybody just see what that was? What in the world? Oh my gosh. All right, here's a crate of random stuff. This is where I just pulled the box sets out of. I just pulled those Garth Brooks box sets out of this, and this has got some supplies, it's got some magazines, and it's got some new vinyl that I found everywhere. So we have, which George Jones? George Jones was, where are you, George Jones? That was We Found Heaven right here on earth at 4033, $12.99. Very clean, original music core. George Jones is $12.99. Okay, next, Tillman Smoot, new bid on Cinderella. Tillman's at $70. Gavin says he's out. So Tillman, you may have ended up with that for $70. Final call. Also, Solomon Burke, looking for a $25 start. No bid. I did take pictures of all these Badlands or not Badlands, the autographs, and just never did get around to posting them. George Jones is sold to Paul Gill. All right, so I found some new LPs first. We have Morgan Wallen, One Thing at a Time. That is on green vinyl. Also, Muddy Waters, Hoochie Coochie Man, $28.99. Muddy Waters, Hoochie Coochie Man. That is $28.99. Live at the Rising Sun Celebrity Jazz Club. These are new LPs for some reason that were just randomly in bins throughout the office and other places. They're all new and sealed. Funkadelic, Maggot Brain, $69.99. David Tate's back in on Cinderella at $80. Funkadelic is $69.99. Brett McKenzie, Songs Without Jokes, $31.99. Limited edition first pressing on colored vinyl, $31.99. Pete Weisgarber wants Funkadelic. That's sold to Pete Weisgarber. Also, Starcatcher, Greta Van Fleet. Starcatcher is on the clear vinyl, $34.99 for Starcatcher. Dave Matthews Band, Remember Two Things. Dave Matthews Band is $44.99. Dave Matthews Band, that's their debut album, $44.99. Also, oh, there's one more in here. The Black Crow Shake Your Moneymaker, that's on green vinyl with the green 7-inch, $44.99. Tillman Smoot, please let me know if you want back in on Cinderella. If anybody's just hopping on, autographed copy of Night Songs. The cover's VG and the vinyl's VG. The back of the cover is autographed by all 4 original members of Cinderella. And I have a feeling that was probably autographed, like, I'm going to guess, using my just intuition. I bet that was autographed actually back when this album came out. Those are probably more so what I would call like original autographs. I doubt that was like signed later or recently. I bet that was actually signed back during the actual release or their tour or something. Paul Brothers gets Dave Matthews Band. I can't prove that. I can definitely prove they're real, but that's just the way it's signed and looks and everything else, plus all kind of the, it looks like maybe it's signed by a fan and it's had some wear over the years. So, okay, David Tate's at $80. Paul Brothers got Dave Matthews Band. We have, I told you I got some random stuff in here. This is a Detective Fiction Weekly magazine. This is random stuff I found in records. This is from 1939. It's what they call a pulp magazine. Detective Fiction Weekly. I think that's from 1939 or 1929. That's $14.99. If you need any record dividers, this is a 5-pack of 40-point thick record dividers. This is the highest gauge they make. Very high quality. That's what we use here in the store. That is $19.99. Jeff McMaster wants the Detective magazine. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. These are record dividers for $19.99. It's a pack of 5, 40-point thickness. Punk Lust. I have yet to figure out what this is. I think y'all know from that Atlanta collection, that guy had a lot of punk rock collectibles. There's a lot more I hadn't got to yet. Magazines, posters, autographs. Lots more that are still tubbed up in the back. But this is I've had set off to the side. I cannot figure out what it is. I don't know if it's fan-made or what. Wow, last week I saw Van Halen at the King Dome. This week I shaved my hair and bought this funny t-shirt. Now I'm a punk rocker. Ha ha ha, kill kill. $6.99. That's also sold to Jeff McMaster. Some kind of fan-made punk, lust, punk magazine. I'm not for sure, but that is sold to Jeff McMaster. Final call on the Cinderella. That's at $80 with David Tate. Also, I have, this is a really cool Beatles poster. I think this may be something, I don't know what it came with, but when you open it up, one side's a map of Liverpool and one side is a map of London. And the other side is blue, like the red album and the blue album. This is $9.99. It folds open to a pretty big poster. One side is a map of Liverpool, like the early days of the Beatles, and one side's a map of London. And it's got information at the bottom, all the sightseeing, you know, like where Paul lived, where James lived, or where John lived, and etc. That's sold to Jeff McMaster. That Jeff is 3 for 3 in the collectibles bin. Next is Superheroes Magazine. On the Scene presents Superheroes, 1966, original comic book, or kind of a super comic, or it's kind of a magazine. This isn't really a comic book, more like a magazine. And that is $19.99. That's sold to Carlene Rollins. Also, for any Tennessee Vols fan, 1974 Tennessee Vols preview book, $14.99, has Carnage Holloway on the front. $14.99, very cool. It has a little bit of a tear here on the cover. That's a 1974 Vols preview book, $14.99 on that. And I have some Funko protectors. I think this is a pack of 5. I think this is a pack of 5 Funko protectors for $8.99. $8.99. That's 5 like plastic Funko protectors. They fold into the shape of the Funko, and you put your Funko inside of it. They're plastic protectors. A pack of 5 is $8.99. Also, somebody asked how many dividers were in the pack. The dividers are a pack of 5. 5 dividers, $19.99, and these are very high quality gauge because these will snap and break. Okay, Cinderella is sold to David Tate for $80. And if anybody wants the Solomon Burke record and autograph, it's only a $25 buy it now. We got 2 autographs that did not get bids. One is the Solomon Burke. It's a $25 buy it now. Not a bad price, including the record is very clean too. And we have the Beach Boys autographed record by Al Jardine. That's a $20 buy it now. Paul Brothers wants 2-pack of Funko protectors. Surprised he didn't keep the Vols book. Well, I did look through it, but I have way too much Vol stuff. I mean, I have books and magazines and lots of books, like all kinds of history of the Vols, and there's stuff my dad had that I still have, and I've got to be careful what I collect and accumulate. Collecting records takes up a lot. Collecting records take up a lot of time, as y'all can already tell. I got to be careful. Plus, I collect other stuff, so if I do see something very cool from the Vols, I'm going to keep it for sure. So, all right. Not saying that magazine wasn't cool. It's got Carnage Holloway on the front cover. Retro Class Entertainment wants the Solomon Burke record for $25. So in this crate, we got the Black Crows, Greta Van Fleet, Britt McKenzie, Muddy Waters, Morgan Wallen, and we have the record dividers. There's the Vols magazine, and there's the Funko sleeves. All right, let's do a crate of new stuff. Let's do some new stuff. This will be our last crate of new stuff. Hey, here's the rest of the Black Crows. Okay, so we do have extra Black Crows. I did pull out 8 already, but I thought we had more. So Okay, next, this is the Black Crows War Paint, $31.99. The Black Crows War Paint is $31.99. That's on splatter vinyl. That's the new release that was due out a couple weeks ago. We're just now getting those. Jerry Garcia, might as well. Jerry Garcia is $36.99. Also, so that was supposed to be pulled too. How many of these are in here? 2, 4, 6. I think that Jerry Garcia that was in this other crate, that goes with the Black Crows. That was on the list. That's on the paper somewhere. I'll go ahead and hand that to you because we had 2 and one of them was already pre-sold. Also, we have Van Halen, Diver Down, $31.99. Queen's Greatest Hits, Volume 2, $39.99. And Tom Petty's Greatest Hits, $46.99. Metallica, Don't Tread On Else Matters, Sebastian Remix. There was a waiting list for this. This is $19.99. Shane Devers and Craig Ruth was on the waiting list for that. That is $19.99. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. What do you have in sleeves? What do you have in the sleeves you've been selling records in for sale? The vintage sleeves we use, they look like this. These sleeves here, a pack of 100 are $29.99. They're 3 mil sleeves. A pack of 100 are $29.99. The Beach Boys record is signed by Al Jardine in the gatefold. It's a $20 buy it now. It's a $20 buy it now. Next is Felix Quintanilla on Metallica. Felix Quintanilla on Metallica, and Eric Smalley also wants one. Those are both sold. Put Gary Samuels on a waiting list. Tom Petty, The Last DJ, $39.99. Primus, Tales from the Punch Bowl, $31.99. Queen Jazz is $31.99. Bon Jovi, The Best of Bon Jovi, colored vinyl, 2LP, $46.99. Stone Temple Pilots Unplugged, $24.99. Queen, News of the World, $31.99. Tom Petty, Hypnotic Eye, that's $39.99. Queen, Flash Gordon is $31.99. And Def Leppard, Drastic Symphonies. This is on clear vinyl, 16 Def Leppard tracks reimagined with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. That is $49.99. That's on clear vinyl. And Craig Ruth, you was on a waiting list for that. Craig Ruth, you was on a waiting list for that. Michael Thrower says he'll take the autographed Beach Boys record for $20. Michael Thomas, not Thrower. Michael Thomas got that for $20. And Queen, A Day at the Races. This is $31.99. Flash Gordon is not on colored vinyl, no. So that was mostly Van Halen, Queen, and Tom Petty. Queen, Day at the Races, Def Leppard, Drastic Symphonies, Flash Gordon, Hypnotic Eye. Also, Queen, News of the World, Stone Temple Pilots, Bon Jovi, Queen Jazz, Primus, Tom Petty, Last DJ, Tom Petty's Greatest Hits. Queen's Greatest Hits 2, Van Halen, Diver Down, Jerry Garcia, that's like a Greatest Hits, and the Black Crows War Paint, and that is on the new splatter vinyl. Tom Petty, I have Southern Accents, $38.99. I have Into the Great Wide Open, $36.99. I have You're Gonna Get It for $28.99. Let Me Up, I've Had Enough, $38.99. Hard Promises is $38.99. Long After Dark is $38.99. Wildflowers is $44.99. Also, Damn the Torpedoes, $38.99. And Angel Dream soundtrack. And I have a new sealed copy of the Traveling Wilburys. And with all the other Tom Pettys that just came in, we should have most of them. So Ann Davis Manginelli wants Def Leppard. That is sold to Ann Davis Manginelli. So we have the Angel Dream soundtrack, $29.99. Traveling Wilburys, new and sealed, $36.99. Damn the Torpedoes, $38.99. Wildflowers, which by the way, OGs of that are like $300-$400 if you're lucky, $44.99. Hard Promises is $38.99. Long After Dark, $38.99. Let Me Up, I've Had Enough, $38.99. You're Gonna Get It is $28.99. Into the Great Wide Open, $36.99. And Southern Accents is $38.99. So that is Tom Petty's. Actually, I will just put all those in here. Yes, Angel Dream is the soundtrack from She's the One. That is correct. Thank you, Craig. All right, let's do a new crate of vintage. Let me take a peek here at it right quick. See what John's got us in stock. Let's pull this out and auction it. Scorpions Blackout. That needs to go to the auction block. And let's see here. Interesting. That's interesting. Let me pull that out. Looks like I need to fix the cover on it. That was a buy it now. That was a buy it now. Okay. Let's see here. Scorpions Blackout. Scorpions Blackout is $34.99. Excuse me, $35 start. Scorpions Blackout has the original inner sleeve. You can bid $34.99. I'll take that too. We're going to round it up to $35. Super clean copy, has the original inner sleeve. Very nice cover. Not a club. Very nice. Scorpions Blackout for those couple people. We have 2 or 3 people about every night. Any new Scorpions albums. Of course, they do have a deep catalog, but most of them are kind of a challenge to find. Blackout, one of the more popular ones there because it has the hit song. Let me see here. No One Like You. I was about to say Rocky Like a Hurricane. I always get those mixed up. Okay, let's go ahead and sell this to a new home. If anybody wants this, it's $125 start. This is Badlands. It's never been repressed. It's never, they say, never gonna get repressed. This is a super clean copy. No condition notes on it. EX Plus near mint minus. It's very clean. This is Badlands. There's the LP. It also has the original inner sleeve. A lot of these are cutouts. This one's not a cutout. Also has a really nice jacket. This is Badlands. It is $125 start. Badlands is $125 start. Scorpions is a $35 start. Okay, let's go through this crate of new vintage arrivals. We have Just a Melody, Young Holt Unlimited. I like their music. Just a Melody, Young Holt Unlimited, $19.99. I do not have Tom Petty's first album. No, that stack I showed you is all the Tom Petty's I have. Also, The Great Groups, looks like a compilation. The Great Groups is $12.99. That's early rock and roll and doo-wop, $12.99. Peter, Paul, and Mary. Peter, Paul, and Mary is $9.99. Peter, Paul, and Mary, that's on the original gold Warner Brothers label, $9.99. Sean Phillips, Spaced. Sean Phillips is $24.99 for Spaced. That's a white label promo, 1977, $24.99. Willie Nelson with Waylon Jennings, Take It to the Limit, $24.99. The Legend, Patsy Cline, that's a 2 LP compilation of her music, $24.99. Bob Riger wants Great Groups. That's sold to Bob Riger. John Mincemoyer is in on Badlands at $125. High bid is $125. Also looking for a $35 bid on the Scorpions. Hymns by Johnny Cash. This is a very clean original label, Columbia 6i, $29.99. Johnny Cash, $29.99. Maynard Ferguson, Stratospheric. Maynard Ferguson is $19.99. Also Judy Garland at Carnegie Hall. Judy in person, $14.99 for Judy Garland. Jay and the Americans, Come a Little Bit Closer, $9.99. America Hearts, $9.99. America Hearts. Led Zeppelin 4, $44.99 for Led Zeppelin 4. That is a 5-digit, super clean vinyl. Led Zeppelin's 4th untitled album, $44.99. Badlands $127, Badlands $30. Also, John Nazarko's in on the Scorpions at $35. Kevin Hughes takes Johnny Cash. Dennis Nelson, You Were Second on the Scorpions. Iron Butterfly in Agata Davida. Iron Butterfly is $19.99 in Agata Davida. Sarah Long put I Am. We're going to figure out what that was for. We're going to first sell Rich Shockley, America, though. That's sold to Rich Shockley. Rant and Rave, The Stray Cats, $24.99 for Rant and Rave with The Stray Cats. Badlands is at $150 and Scorpions is at $40. Having Fun with Elvis on Stage, $14.99. That's on the Tan RCA label, $14.99 for Elvis. Steely Dan's Greatest Hits, $39.99. This is a 2 LP compilation, and it does have the RL in the Dead Wax. That is the Robert Ludwig cut of Steely Dan's Greatest Hits, $39.99. Elvis, How Great Thou Art is $14.99. That's on the original RCA Victor label, $14.99. John Lill on Steely Dan. Also, Mickey Newberry, Frisco Mabel Joy. Mickey Newberry is $19.99. Roberta Flack is $24.99. Foghat is $14.99. Steve Goodman, $14.99 for Steve Goodman, $14.99 on that. Ann Davis Manginelli on Elvis. Update on our auctions. John Mincemoyer, never mind. Shane Devers is at $165 on Badlands. Now, I'm going to go ahead and tell you, if y'all don't know the full story on Badlands, I've got an ad going right now on Facebook saying we buy records, and I purposely put this record in the ad. It's already got comments and we've already received messages. People will direct message us all day. How much is Badlands? Can I buy Badlands? Badlands is a great album. Wow, Badlands. Where did you get Badlands at? How much is Badlands? It happens all day. That's why I purposely put it in ads. This is the most attention-grabbing record. I could put an autographed Beatles album, and I think this would still get more comments. This is Badlands. It's incredible. Shane Devers is the high bidder at 165. David Hilton, you were second on Elvis, by the way. John Nazarko's out on the Scorpions. Shane Devers was in first at 40. Dennis Nelson, you were second. So Shane was in first on that at 40. He's also the high bidder on Badlands at 165. Maynard Ferguson, MF Horn and MF Horn 2, $26.99 for Maynard Ferguson. Also Jan and Dean, Folk and Row. Jan and Dean is $9.99. 20 all-time number one hits, $14.99, and Rock and Roll Soul, 1959. This is a ABC Records compilation. Also has a really cool newspaper cover with articles from that era, $14.99. So that's why Old Hot Picture was posted. Yeah, that picture is where we bought Badlands in a collection in Knoxville like almost 2 years ago now. It's been a while, but that was an incredible purchase. He had all kinds of great stuff, but yeah, that and we had the Master Puppets white label promo with the hop sticker saying they wasn't going to cuss on the album, and they cussed on the hop sticker. That was iconic. We auctioned that, I think, for a record-setting price that night. I think nearly $900. We bid on that thing for like an hour. Okay, let me take a quick detour and show you some Atlanta Braves Funkos. Atlanta Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr. We just got these in. It's a new release. They're $14.99. This is a new release from Funko. Pop MLB, Braves, Ronald Acuna Jr. Did Moose say he wanted one? What did that message say? He said he wanted one. All right, so one is sold to Moose. We'll set that aside. We also need to let them know, what's that? Acuna. 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 Okay. There's a little symbol above the N there. That is $14.99. Acuna. Thank you, Seth. Wow, I don't have to fire you. You actually did something helpful tonight, Seth. Acuna. I like saying that. San Francisco. Okay, the other one is Peter Pan. Peter Pan with flute. That's a new one. Peter Pan, $14.99. Peter Pan is $14.99. And also we need to let Moose know his Dale Earnhardt's came in. So he's got a new invoice with us. All right, I'll show some more stuff. I got a new Harry Potter one we've never had before, and we've got a puzzle over here. So Acuna is currently batting. Wow. All right, Christopher Moore. Next comment was Christopher Moore said 20. That was 20 all-time number one hits. Update on our auctions. Shane Devers is at 165 on Badlands, going twice, going three times. Shane Devers has the high bid on the Scorpions at 40. Dennis Nelson, let me know if you're in or out. Can I bid on a piece of Meatlaw's meatloaf? Meemaw's meatloaf. Wow, that's a tongue twister. No, you can't, because I'm probably going to eat most of it after the sale tonight. Also, Fat City, Greatest Hits Volume 1. Fat City is $9.99. Is this the same Fat City that played with John Denver? If you notice some of those, I think it's Take Me Home Country Roads. It says John Denver with Fat City. That might be the same people. $9.99. And we have Wings at the Speed of Sound. Wings is $24.99. Wings at the Speed of Sound, $24.99. That's in shrink wrap with the Wings Hype sticker. Shrink wrap with Wings Hype sticker. Jocko's Showstoppers, maybe? That is $9.99. All right, final call on Badlands. Dennis is out on Scorpions. I'm about to sell that, but OG Badlands. OG Badlands. The real deal. Up for auction. Final call. And then it's going to be gone. And then I have to disappoint hundreds of people weekly that it's already sold. Hank Williams Jr., 24 greatest hits, $34.99. Also, London Town is $24.99. Barbie Doll is $19.99. Has nothing to do with the newest movie. Sean Phillips is $19.99. Also, Rock and Roll Soul, 1960. Kennedy elected, $14.99. Youngest president in U.S. history. U-2 pilot caught. Eagles Take Title. Eagles Take Title and U2 Pilot Call. It has nothing to do with music. Nothing to do with music. $14.99. Also, Crispin St. Peter's, the Pied Piper. This is a 2009 remaster, 180 gram, $19.99. What Hank was that? That was Hank Williams' 24 Greatest Hits. That is $34.99. All right, let's sell the Scorpions for $40. That is sold to Shane Devers for $40, and Shane's also going to get the Holy Grail of Badlands, also sold to Shane Devers for $165. That is sold. 60 Greatest Hits of Dion and the Belmonts, $24.99. Cosmos Factory, Creedence Clearwater Revival, $34.99. Blue and Gold Fantasy Label, $34.99. Jeff McMaster said Eagles. Now, do you want the 1960 rock and roll compilation? If so, let me know, Mr. McMaster. Richard Harris, A Tramp Shining, that is $12.99. Jeff put Eagles. Okay, I think he may actually want the Philadelphia Eagles here. That's the football team. I guess he wants it. If so, we'll sell it to Jeff McMaster. Lacey J. Dalton is $12.99. Moody Blues on the Threshold of a Dream. Looks like a nice gatefold. It is $14.99 for the Moody Blues. And the Drifters with Dwayne Eddy, $14.99. It's actually one of these rock and roll compilations. The Drifters, Dwayne Eddy, Fireballs, and Jack Scott. That is $14.99. All right. What do I have up for auction? Let me take a peek at our next crate of vintage. Looks like our next crate is going to be our first crate of check condition. When I said because the first few flips, I seen some great titles, which, yeah, some great titles here. Looks like check condition. It all is check condition. We're going to go through those right now. And let me swap out crates. Let me read through the titles that's left in here one more time. I'm just going to read titles. If you need prices, let me know. We have Young Holt Unlimited, Peter, Paul, and Mary, Sean Phillips, Willie Nelson, and Waylon Jennings, Patsy Cline, Maynard Ferguson, Judy Garland, Jay and the Americans, Led Zeppelin, Iron Butterfly, The Stray Cats, Elvis, Mickey Newberry, Roberta Flack, Foghat, Steve Goodman, Maynard Ferguson, Jan and Dean, Rock and Roll Soul 59, Michael Grind wants Iron Butterfly, and Agata Davida. They say that song is still playing somewhere. It doesn't stop. Got a nice clean copy of Zeppelin 4 in there. Also, Wings and Shrink Wrap and Hop Sticker. Showstoppers, Hank Williams, 24 Greatest Hits. London Town, Barbie Doll, Sean Phillips, Crispin St. Peter's, Dion Box Set, Cosmos Factory, Richard Harris, Lacey J. Dalton, Moody Blues, The Drifters, Dwayne Eddy, The Fireballs, and Jack Scott. Jack Scott. All right, let's do this next crate of new vintage check conditions. New vintage check conditions. New vintage check condition. I feel like I got some stuff. Where did I put away all the stuff I had to auction? I worked on stuff last night. I cleaned up the office and behind the counter, and that was a job. I was here. Ed, I think, showed up to open or get started the next day when I was leaving. I had stayed here pretty late, but I have accomplished quite a bit. Let's see. Somewhere I've got some other random stuff. Maybe I'll just have to wait on that because I don't know where I've done with it. I may have put it back in the office. I was trying to keep everything nice and tidy, and I may have hid some stuff from myself. So let's just do some auctions in just a second. The first thing, I'll show you some new check condition. Stephen Stills Manassas. This is a VG Plus for $14.99. Stephen Stills Manassas down the road. That's VG Plus condition, $14.99. Bud Shank, Bob Brookmeyer Strings and Trombones. It's got a giant for demonstration only, not for sale sticker on it. That's a VG copy for $14.99, and that is on the Pacific Jazz label, Bud Shank. VG $14.99. Hank Ballard's Biggest Hits. That's a VG copy for $19.99. Hank Ballard's Biggest Hits by Hank Ballard, Blue King label, VG $19.99. And Edgar Winter, Jasmine Night Dreams. That's VG for $9.99. With Lacey J. Dalton, and Did I Hear Willie and Waylon. You heard Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings. Let me show that, and let me figure out which Lacey J. Dalton that I passed by. It's this one right here. It's called Highway Diner. It's $12.99. Darren, unfortunately, somebody has wrote on the cover. At one point, it was in a discount bin somewhere. The vinyl, though, extremely clean. Has a gold stamp promo on the back. And we have Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings, Take It to the Limit. That is $24.99. That is available. Those two are available. Jackson Brown, For Every Man. That's a VG plus $9.99. John Cougar Mellencamp Scarecrow. That's a VG $12.99. That's in shrink wrap with the hop sticker. John Cougar is VG $12.99. Gideon says he will take the Waylon and Willie. That's sold to Gideon. Also, Cheech and Chong, Sleeping Beauty. That's a VG copy for $14.99. Meet the Beatles, VG plus $29.99. Meet the Beatles. This is a Scranton press. VG plus $29.99 on Meet the Beatles. Something new by the Beatles. VG $19.99. This is a 64 Terre Haute. VG $19.99. Darren Davis says he'll take the Lacey J. Dalton. And before that, Shane Devers wanted Cheech and Chong, and John Young wants MTV. That is Meet the Beatles. There's something new by the Beatles. Also, Argent, All Together Now, which has their hit song Hold Your Head Up. That's a VG copy for $9.99. Blood, Sweat, and Tears 3, EX Condition, $16.99. Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Double Fantasy, John Lennon. That's a VG Plus copy for $16.99. Nazareth's Greatest Hits, VG Plus, $14.99. Nazareth's Greatest Hits. It is a UK import or a German, or it's definitely a foreign import. The cover's about VG. That is Nazareth's Greatest Hits. $14.99 VG Plus copy. Kim Carnes, Barking at Airplanes. That's $9.99. Bruce Springsteen, The River, is a VG copy for $19.99. The Beatles, Help. That's a VG Plus for $24.99. The Beatles, Help, VG Plus $24.99. And the Beatles 65 is VG Plus $26.99. Back-to-back Beatles albums there. I think that's worthy of a pause to show you two other new collectibles that we got restocks of. The first is the Rudolph puzzle, which we had a waiting list for. This is from the classic Rudolph movie TV series, or TV, usually just broadcast on TV. I think y'all know what I'm talking about. That's $24.99. Who was on a waiting list for this? They're $24.99. It's a 1,000-piece kind of horizontal puzzle. Tracy Miller, excuse me. We've already got one of those pulled for you. I have one extra if anybody wants it for $24.99. And I've never had this Harry Potter Funko. I was wondering how they made this guy, and it makes a lot more sense now. He's a large one. That's Hagrid. Hagrid is $24.99. Harry Potter Hagrid. I guess his first name is Rubus. $24.99. I haven't had that one before. He's a large one, as he is in the movies. $24.99. Can I see Help again? You can. The Beatles, Help. This is, all we have is VG Plus $24.99. I don't have any other notes on it. There's the gatefold. Help, I Need Somebody. There's the rainbow label. Manufactured by Capitol Records, USATM, registration. It is in mono, and it has, what kind of sleeve we got here? It does have a Capitol colored inner sleeve. Good signs. All very good signs. VG Plus $24.99. There is some seam splitting going on right here. There is some, let me get it in frame, hold on. There is some seam splitting going on that first pocket. VG Plus condition, $24.99. Great songs on that album. Fantastic songs on that album. Little Sonny, New King of the Blues Harmonica. That's a VG Plus $29.99. The Beatles, Abbey Road, is a VG Plus $29.99. This is on an orange Capitol label. Orange Capitol label, that's VG Plus $29.99. Nas 2 is a VG Plus $24.99. Nas 2, VG Plus $24.99. Thomas Bowman wants a Christmas puzzle. Like I did say, I have assembled a high-end bin, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull stuff out of that high-end bin to auction. I'm going to pull stuff out of that high-end bin to auction until we can... here's the other one, yeah. Here's what's left of the new vinyl on sale and the Japanese stuff. Here's what I was looking for. This is the high-end bin stuff. I got some stuff in here we can pull for auction. And then I do have what little Japanese we do have on hand. I think there is a couple that hadn't been shown before. But what I'm going to do in the high-end bin, until I can actually show it, I'm going to pull some stuff out to hopefully auction. Because we went through and pulled some stuff out anyway. The first record I'm going to send somebody home with, I know it's going to get a bid for this start. And then for those that's always wanted one of these, if you've been wanting one of these, I'm going to send it home to somebody tonight. First is Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. Motley Crue is in VG Plus condition. This is going to be a $25 start. This is OG Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. Just a $25 start. It has the original inner sleeve. There's the label, VG Plus condition, $25 start on Motley Crue. The cover is also VG or VG Plus. That's a $25 start and bid. And for those that's always wanted this album, you're at least going to get a chance to bid on it. I've got a Buckingham Nicks. We've sold a lot of these lately. This is the 1973 all-disc press, which is OG, and it's the gatefold. It does have some cover damage here and here. Looks like it got a little wet at some point. It does have a braille strip. That's from that collection where that guy had braille strips on a lot of his records. Somebody lived with him that was blind. It has the original Polydor inner sleeve. And there's the vinyl. No condition notes. The vinyl is very clean. And that's Nicks and Buckingham. Buckingham Nicks, which is Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham. This is a $35 start. We've sold these in VG minus condition for $35. I've also sold them near mint. I think we had one even in shrink wrap one night that sold for over $150 or more maybe. $35 start on Buckingham Nicks. That's definitely going to be going home with somebody. Motley Crue is 25, 30, 35, 35, 40, and now 50. Back to the check condition bin. The Righteous Brothers Greatest Hits, VG Plus condition, $9.99. The Righteous Brothers Greatest Hits. Hank, this is Leon Russell as Hank Williams is back, or Hank Wilson's back, yeah. Hank Wilson's back, Volume 1. That is a VG copy for $9.99. The Kinks, Kink size, VG, $24.99. That is a mono tricolor steamboat. That's a VG copy for $24.99. Also, the Kink Controversy, that's a VG copy for $24.99. That's also on a tricolor steamboat stereo press, VG, $24.99. Did I miss a comment about Abbey Road? I did. Brian Ligon says, did you say Abbey Road was VG Plus? Yes, Abbey Road was VG Plus, $29.99, 1976 orange capital label. Sorry if I missed comments tonight, or if I miss comments any night. I usually are never ignoring you. I just may not see them, or the feed moves on me. Next is Frigid Pink. Frigid Pink is a VG copy for $24.99. Also, Star Trek, 3 exciting new complete stories. Star Trek is a VG copy for $19.99, and The Association Renaissance. The Association is VG Plus, $9.99. By the way, Motley Crue's at 50 with Shane Devers, and Buckingham Nicks, Thomas Bowman's at 45. Charlie Daniels Band, Fire on the Mountain, that's a VG copy for $9.99. Fire on the Mountain, VG $9.99. And Bad Company, Run with the Pack, VG Plus condition, $24.99 on Run with the Pack. I'm going to mute my mic 1 second while I take a drink of Diet Mountain Dew. Alrighty. While I was muted, I asked Tanner and Seth, did they have any complaints? And Seth said, not yet. So there we have it. Shane Devers gets Charlie Daniels. That's sold to Shane. Johnny Cash at San Quentin, a VG copy for $12.99. Johnny Cash at San Quentin, that's a VG for $12.99. Bob Dylan, Slow Train Coming. This is a VG copy for $14.99. Slow Train Coming, VG copy for $14.99. Gideon wants the Johnny Cash. Nikki Cox wants the Righteous Brothers Greatest Hits. That's sold to Nikki Cox from a few back. Final call on Motley Crue for $50. And Thomas Bowman has this very clean copy. The vinyl's extremely nice on Buckingham Nicks for just $45. This album has never been reissued or repressed. It may have got reissued like back in the day. I think they did one repressing of it. But this has not been reissued in the last 30, 40 years at least. Definitely in the last 40 years, that album has not been pressed on vinyl. This is Ringo Starr, and this is EX $24.99. EX $24.99 on Ringo Starr. Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell is VG $14.99. VG $14.99. This is Meatloaf Bat Out of Hell. That's on the Orange Epic label. The Standales, try it. The Standales, that's a VG plus $24.99. Also, Cat Stevens Teaser and the Fire Cat, VG plus $9.99. Can I see side 2 of Ringo? Ringo side 2. Interesting. Side 2 of Ringo. Ringo Starr, Ringo, produced by Richard Berry. Stereo, SWAL 3413, SWAL-2-3413. Side 2, engineer, Bill Sheen, manufactured by Apple Records. That is EX2499. Rebecca Barber wants Meatloaf. And we have Buckingham Nicks at $55. Let's go ahead and sell Motley Crue then to Shane Devers for $50. That's sold to Shane for $50. Motley Crue Theater Pain is gone. Also over here in this bin, we have a sealed copy of Hallows Eve. I did not, when I sold this originally, I did not announce that it had a saw mark in it. And I did not mention that. So this was actually a return to us. We had this return, and I want to, before I auction it again, I want to let everybody know it does have a saw mark. This is Hallows Eve Monument. It is sealed. It's never been opened. Hallows Eve Monument. I also have no idea what it originally sold for, but I'm going to put it up this time for a $25 start. Hallows Eve is a $25 start. It is sealed, and it does have a saw mark on it. Just FYI. Buckingham Nicks is at 55. Shane's at 60. Thomas Bowman is out. The Who Quadrophenia EX32.99. EX32.99 for the Who's Quadrophenia. Edwin Starr War and Peace. VG plus $24.99 for Edwin Starr War and Peace. Modern Scream. This is Lily Tomlin Modern Scream. And this is VG plus $19.99. Modern Scream. VG plus $9.99. Modern Scream. The Young Rascals. Now, I usually see a hype sticker that says Groovin'. I don't know if I've ever seen a hype sticker that says How Can I Be Sure? Usually the hype sticker says for Groovin'. This LP has the big hit, How Can I Be Sure? This is a VG plus $24.99. That is the Young Rascals. Julie London, Your Number Please. Julie London is VG plus $19.99. Janis Joplin Pearl is a VG copy for $14.99. Janis Joplin Pearl and Dolly Parton, Here You Come Again. Dolly Parton is VG plus $16.99. So Buckingham Nicks got the 60. Brent's out. Thomas is out. Hallows Eve is at 25. Cynthia Herdren wants Modern Scream. That's sold to Cynthia Herdren. Basie at Birdland, recorded live at the Jazz Corner of the World. That's VG plus $9.99. Van Halen, this is a 12-inch single of Jump, a UK 12-inch single. It's in VG condition, $24.99. UK 12-inch single of Jump, VG condition, $24.99. Prince is a VG plus $24.99, and this does have the poster, Prince Controversy, VG plus $24.99. Sean Fairweather wants Count Basie. That's sold to Sean Fairweather. The Best of Spirit is a VG plus for $16.99. Alan Heavalone first on Prince. Also Them featuring Van Morrison, Here Comes the Night. This is a VG copy for $49.99. It is in mono. Them featuring Van Morrison. That's a VG copy for $49.99. That was Van's first group. Whitney Houston is a VG copy for $24.99. Also a VG minus cover. And Traffic is VG plus for $14.99. Thomas Hujar wants Them. Let's do some final calls. Buckingham Nicks is only at $60 with Shane Devers. That's a final call. And then Hallows Eve is at $25. This is a sealed copy of Monument. It does have a saw mark. It is sealed. Fred Carnell has that for $25. Alan Heavalone gets Whitney Houston. And Brian C. wants the Van Halen 12-inch single. I'm going to start from the back and very quickly read titles. And I'm going to give you an update on what we're doing the rest of the night. I'm going to keep doing auctions. I've got new crates. I've got 2 more crates of new vintage arrivals to go through. I'm going to probably here in a minute hit a crate of new vinyl. Probably go through a crate of new vinyl after this. Just to remind you of some titles we have in stock. And then We'll probably do some buy now best offer for the rest of the night. We'll probably do stuff on sale, buy now and best offer. By the way, I'm doing the sale tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday, and just so everybody's warned and prepared, because Paul is going to be handling the rest of the week. Paul's going to be here Thursday, Friday, and Saturday doing the shows. I've got 3 nights. Paul's got 3 nights. I hope y'all treat Paul very well. Be sure to buy a lot of records, okay? Buy a lot of records for Paul. He will greatly enjoy that. More action, the better. So I'll be here, and then I'll say fair warning because I don't want Paul overwhelmed with comments. Where's Chad? What have you done with Chad? Where's Chad? You're not Chad. Where is Chad? How come Chad's not here? Who are you? But I think by now y'all have got used to Paul. And hopefully the next week we can start getting him back on every Thursday night to start the show. We're going to try to get that back into a routine. Okay, so Buckingham Nicks is at 65, and I'm about to sell Hallows Eve. Here's what's left in this crate. We have Manassas, Bud Shank, Hank Ballard, Edgar Winter, Jackson Brown, The Beatles, John Cougar Mellencamp, Argent, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, John Lennon, Nazareth, Kim Carnes, Bruce Springsteen, The Beatles, Little Sonny, Naz 2, Leon Russell, The Kinks, The Beatles, Frigid Pink, Star Trek, The Association, Bad Company, Bob Dylan, The Rolling Stones, The Monkees, The Standells, Cat Stevens, Ringo, The Who, Edwin Starr, The Young Rascals, Julie London, Janis Joplin, Dolly Parton, Traffic, and Spirit. And let's go ahead and sell Fred Carnell, Hallows Eve, for $25. We did get a new bid on Buckingham Nicks, it looks like. Michael Nath is at 65. So Shane Devers, you're out on Buckingham Nicks. Michael Nath has that for 65. Michael has the new high bid on that, 65. Let me figure out which crate of new vinyl I want to go through. We'll probably go through, let's see. Well, the front half of this is what I really want to go through, so let's just go through the whole crate. Got to go through the back half to go through the front half, but you may see something you've been wanting to get, just didn't want to get it that week, or maybe you want to get it the next week. Paul does do a great job. He does get a great job, so he does a fantastic job. And then Seth's going to help him out a couple nights, right, Seth? Oh, wait a minute, Seth will be with me. That's right. Never mind. It'll be Tanner will be helping him out. Tanner's also going to be the guest host. You'll be hearing him say, right, Tanner. Tanner will be here as well. Okay, so Buckingham Nicks has a new bid at $65. Shane Devers, you're out. That's a final call to Michael Nath at $65. We have Van Morrison, turquoise vinyl, $28.99. And yes, let me recap what we have here because we started explaining all the represses. This was a 1973 all-disc pressing, okay? This is an OG 1973. They did repress this 2 or 3 times. When I say that it's never been reissued, when I say that, what I mean, it's not been pressed in the last 10 years during the vinyl resurgence on a 180-gram remaster. Meaning they don't have this where you can just go in and order it and get a new copy of it, like so many people would be okay with having for $35. This was last pressed in 1981. It's been over 40 years since this album has been pressed to vinyl. That's usually when I say this album's never been reissued. That doesn't mean they only pressed it one time. That means they really haven't pressed it in the last 10 or 20 years since the vinyl resurgence, especially in the last 10 years. That's usually the big thing. So that album's not in print. So you have to get a vintage or an OG copy, which this is. It's a gatefold. The vinyl's super clean. The inside of the cover has a little bit of damage. It does have the braille strip on it, but that is a 73 red Polydor gatefold. I've had some before that's not a gatefold. We had one just the other night. It was in a random bin. So there we have it. All right, $70 on Buckingham Nicks is the new high bid. Very quickly, with some new vinyl, we have Van Morrison on turquoise blue vinyl. That is his band in the Street Choir, $28.99. Testament, Souls of Black. Testament is new and sealed for $44.99. Music on vinyl. Also Accept, Balls to the Walls, $44.99. Extreme, Porno Graffiti, $39.99 for Extreme. U2, Songs of Experience. That's on blue vinyl. That's pretty much an on sale price at $28.99. Same thing with No Line on the Horizon, 10th anniversary. That's pretty much an on-sale price at $28.99. Godsmack, When Legends Rise, 5th anniversary edition, white vinyl, $31.99. Whole Celebrity Skin, $39.99. Motley Crue, if you missed out on the OG, there's a new copy for $33.99, remastered. Townes Van Zandt, I have 5 albums in stock for $31.99. Darren Davis wants a U2, No Line on the Horizon. The 5 Townes Van Zandt albums we have is Our Mother the Mountain, At My Window, self-titled, Delta Mama Blues, and For the Sake of the Song. Kara Bauer also wants Motley Crue, the new one there, Theater of Pain. The Who's Greatest Hits is on red vinyl, $36.99, red vinyl. Primus, The Desaturating 7. Primus is $31.99. Lots of copies because this came back in stock with 3 different distributors. There for a while, I couldn't get enough of these. And then I think everybody got one, and then I had them back ordered everywhere. So I've got about 10 copies throughout the store. And that's Pink Floyd's first album, The Piper at the Gates of Dawn. That's a stereo remaster for $33.99. Ann Davis Manginelli wants the Who's Greatest Hits. Van Morrison, Blowing Your Mind is $44.99. All Them Witches, there's the other one we had the other night that I couldn't find. That's self-titled, $34.99. Clutch, Blast Tyrant, Clutch is $36.99. Also, Joy Division, Unknown Pleasures, $29.99. There's Joshua, he's the one that wanted Witches. By the way, Shane Devers, you are outbid on Buckingham Nicks. Michael Nath is back in at $75 on that. Kiss Dynasty, that's the 2014 remaster. Has the poster, everything just like the OG, $33.99. The Smiths, self-titled, $31.99. Shane's back in on Buckingham Nicks at $80. The new remaster of Aloha from Hawaii, that's the 50th anniversary edition. I bet at least somebody watching bought that probably when it came out in 1973. That's very cool. That's Elvis Aloha from Hawaii via satellite. Let me pull something else out of this bin to auction. We have a 67 mono copy of Buffalo Springfield with hop sticker. It's in partial shrink wrap, so the shrink wrap runs like halfway through it, makes almost like a crescent moon shape. It does have the hop sticker, including their big new hit For What It's Worth. Now, I think the true first pressings, though, didn't include that song. And then I think it was like a single only, and then they realized how big of a hit it was, and I think they added that track later. This is Buffalo Springfield, though. Their self-titled first album has the hit song For What It's Worth, Stop People, What's That Sound? This is in shrink wrap. It does have that hop sticker, the vinyl, no condition notes on it, and that is a 67 mono. When I hear that song, first thing I think of is Vietnam War, For What It's Worth, or Forrest Gump. I either think of Forrest Gump, Vietnam, which usually if you think of Vietnam, you kind of think of Forrest Gump, one of the two. We have Kevin Kubina. He wants a Kiss Dynasty. Kevin also wants an Aloha from Hawaii. Those are both sold. If I hadn't said it, $25 start on Buffalo Springfield. $25 start. It's in partial shrink, mono, and hop sticker. $25 start on it. Rage Against the Machine, Evil Empire, $31.99. Bulls on Parade, $31.99. Susie and the Banshees from the Cradle Bar. Susie and the Banshees is a live FM unofficial for $33.99. By the way, Michael Naff's out on Buckingham Nicks. Shane Devers has that for $80. Final call. The Hives, The Death of Randy Fitzsimmons on Indie exclusive cream vinyl, $29.99. Buffalo Springfield in shrink wrap and hop sticker. Partial shrink wrap. Has the Treasure Island price tag. That's a $25 start. That's an OG mono, or a mono press, I guess I should say. Yes, Fragile, their classic album. These sound phenomenal. Crystal clear vinyl, $31.99 on Yes, Fragile. Joy Division, a live unofficial from 1980, $31.99. The Who, or excuse me, Pearl Jam by Neural, $39.99. Erasure is $29.99. Astro Creep 2000 live, $31.99. Marty Robbins is $24.99. Adele 21 and Adele 25. Adele 21 is $31.99 and Adele 25 is $31.99. Alison Krauss and Union Station, Paper Airplane, $36.99. The Doors, Morrison Hotel is $31.99. The Doors, LA Woman is $31.99. And The Doors self-titled is $31.99. Buckingham Nicks is sold for $80. Yes, if you pre-ordered Marilyn Manson from us, you got one. It's on your invoice. By the way, consider yourself very lucky. That album is recalled. It's a cutout. It's been a recalled album. They're selling for like $200 right now. So if you got one of the Marilyn Mansons from us, if you were able to pre-order that, we got our full allocation. Luckily, our distributor shipped them before they were recalled. That album is recalled, and it is very pricey right now. They're selling for all day about $200. So if you pre-ordered it from us, they are in, and there will be no more. That album is crazy right now. All right, let's go through another crate of vintage. When I first posted that, I posted it on our main page, and of course, there's a lot of people on our main page who normally don't buy from us. They just possibly follow our page. So many complaints about the $70 price. It's like, who would pay $70 for Marilyn Manson? Now it's like a $200 album. And I'm seeing kind of the OGs kind of rise. It's amazing. So, all right. Final call on Buffalo Springfield for just $25. Shakedown has that for just $25. Can I bid? Can I bid on that? Hop sticker, shrink wrap. That's right up my alley. Can I bid, Tanner? Tanner says I can bid. I can't do that. Final call, $25. New vintage arrivals. We have Frank Zappa, $49.99. Frank Zappa, The Mothers of Invention Overnight Sensation, $49.99. Frank Zappa, Mothers of Invention Overnight Sensation. The Jacksons Victory is $24.99. The Jacksons Victory is $24.99. I really don't know the full story of why it was recalled, but basically, like, I don't know details, but it pretty much has what Rebecca just said, his legal issues. Manson's been in trouble forever. So when that album was announced, it was being pressed. I thought, okay, they're pressing it in Europe, which, you know, there is a lot of loopholes over there for copyright laws. But it was an official release. It was official. It was definitely an official release. And but I saw it was being pressed only in Europe. I was like, there's some kind of loophole they're doing with that. But then it was recalled. But they're expensive. It is an official press because eBay's allowing them, Discogs is allowing them, and they're selling for about $200, FYI. So if you got one, congratulations if you pre-ordered that with us. Carole King, Welcome Home, $14.99 for Carole King. By the way, Buffalo Springfield's at $40. Now that's more like it. Thank you. Steve Miller Band, The Joker. Steve Miller Band, The Joker. There's an anniversary box set of this album coming out. I got to post a pre-order for. The Joker is $19.99. Nix and the Sidekicks. Nix and the Sidekicks is $24.99. Also, we have Herman's Hermits, Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter, $9.99. Al Cooper, A Possible Projection of the Future. Al Cooper is $19.99. Buffalo Springfield. I have no condition notes on the vinyl. It's a solid EX. I have no notes on it, but it is EX. It does have a couple scuffs on it. That's not the original inner sleeve, but it does have an inner sleeve with it. And it has the hop sticker. So, and it is a mono press. It is a mono press. Shakedowns at $41. The Rolling Stones Hot Rocks, $39.99. John, this is not the one you're looking for. I can go ahead and tell you, we check every one of them now. We check them all. $39.99 for Hot Rocks. Michael Thomas is on HH, which is Herman's Hermits. That's sold to Michael Thomas. Aretha, I don't know if I've ever seen that one. Aretha Sweet Passion, $19.99. Aretha Franklin Sweet Passion, $19.99. John Young's at $43 on Buffalo Springfield. And Blue Rose, Rosemary Clooney, and Duke Ellington. That is a 1956 6-eye mono, $19.99. Shakedowns out on Buffalo Springfield. John Young has the high bid on that. We have a new auction being bootlegs. Vintage bootlegs like this are also tough for us to sell. If you ever see them slip through on eBay, they always sell really good. Like this is a $100 plus bootleg. It's just that you really can't sell them on eBay. Sometimes they slip through. People get them listed fast enough and they get sold and everything. You can't put them on Discogs. They're very collectible. This is Bob Dylan. It's a 1976 unofficial All Hallows Eve, which is a live from 1964. Bob Dylan. It's a 2LP bootleg. I'm going to start this for just $25. Bob Dylan's All Hallows Eve. That's an unofficial, vintage unofficial for sure. Yeah, as you can tell, very crudely made there with the Xerox pink picture. $25 start on that. Rydell Martin wants the Aretha Franklin. That's sold to Rydell Martin. Final call on Buffalo Springfield for $43. The Best of the James Gang. Excuse me, the Best of the James Gang. That's on the original Blocks label. $19.99. Best of the James Gang. The Doors Soft Parade. The Doors Soft Parade, $34.99. Red Electro Label, The Doors Soft Parade, $34.99. Elvis Presley, His Hand in Mine. This is sealed, unopened, $19.99. Kevin Kubina on the James Game. Jeff McMaster's at $44 on Buffalo Springfield. Not done yet. Elvis, as recorded at Madison Square Garden. Orange RCA label. Elvis is $19.99. Back-to-back Elvis. Neil Young on the Beach. This album's always pricey and desirable. It's a 1974 Terre Haute, $49.99. Neil Young on the Beach. It's $49.99. Neil Young on the Beach. Kevin Kubina, you're first to Elvis. Kevin, let me know if you want His Hand in Mine or the Madison Square Garden, or you can have both of them. Foghat Live, a nice die-cut cover too. Foghat Live is $19.99. Focus 3, Focus is $24.99. So John Young, you are outbid on Buffalo Springfield. Let me know if you want back in. Kevin Kubina wants the Madison Square Garden. That's sold to Kevin Kubina. Charlie Daniels Band, High Lonesome, $22.99 on Charlie Daniels Band. Jefferson Starship, Spitfire is $14.99. And John Lennon, Rock and Roll. John Lennon is $29.99 for Rock and Roll. John is back in on Buffalo Springfield at $50. We have the Fleetwoods, Frankie Avalon, the Chiffons, and the Adlips. That's a Rock and Roll Story, $14.99. Also the Drifters, Dwayne Eddy, the Fireballs, and Jack Scott. We had that one just earlier, $14.99. Moments to Remember. Moments to Remember is $9.99. Also, Paul McCartney Ram. Looks like a nice copy. It's a gatefold. It is a nice copy. I recommend it. $29.99. All right, if anybody wants the Bob Dylan unofficial, $25 buy it now on the Bob Dylan All Hallows Eve. And I think y'all saw what we had that marked for, because that's what one had recently sold for on eBay. We just can't risk selling it on there. They will take down your account if you sell too many of those. Rhonda's first to Paul McCartney. John Leal, you were second. Paul McCartney, Tug of War is $19.99. John Young is back in on Buffalo Springfield at $50. Jeff McMaster, you're out. Paul McCartney, Back to the Egg is $24.99. Webster Vance wants the Jacksons. And the Jacksons is right here. That was the Jacksons' Victory. That's sold to Webster Vance. Also, Rock and Roll Soul Early Edition. This is 53, 54, and 55. They put 3 years together. They didn't have enough ABC rock records from those years. That's the first years of rock and roll. That is the first years of rock and roll, $14.99. That's when rock and roll got started, 53, 54, and 55. Madonna, Who's That Girl? $24.99. It's got some writing on the front. Just ignore that. This is the original motion picture soundtrack. Ivy wrote her name on the cover. That is $24.99. Hugh Muscala, Home is Where the Music Is. This looks sealed. It is. Hugh Muscala is sealed from 1972, $99.99. $99.99 on Hugh. Elvis is in shrink wrap from 1976, Something for Everybody, $19.99. How much is Steve Miller Band, The Joker? Steve Miller Band, The Joker was $19.99. Some people call me the Space Cowboy. That's the song on that album. History of Otis Redding, $32.99. It does have some cover damage down here. That is $32.99. All right, Buffalo Springfield. Jeff McMaster, let me know if you're in or out, because John Young has that for $50, and we're now on a final call. Next comment was, what was Madonna condition and price? Madonna was $24.99. There is no condition notes on the vinyl. It does have a name written on the front, and that's the Who's That Girl soundtrack. Yes, the vinyl's very clean. Ivy took care of it, except for writing on the cover, $24.99. Ryan Christie, if you don't want Steve Miller Band, it looks like David Eberly does. And by the way, Buffalo Springfield has 2 new bids, 53 and 56. George Benson, in shrink wrap and hop sticker, contains the hit singles Lady Blue and On Broadway. That's in shrink wrap for $19.99. So Ryan Christie does get the Steve Miller Band. David Eberly, that makes you second on it. Griffin. Griffin is a white label promo, $26.99. John Smetzer wants George Benson. Sell that to John Smetzer. And Super Sax Plays Bird. Super Sax Plays Bird, $9.99. Blackbird, Donald Byrd, that's in shrink wrap for $19.99. And George Duke, Master of the Game, that is $19.99. That's pronounced Muscala. Well, that's the third different pronunciation I've been told, Larry. I usually just say it 3 different ways when I show. I usually say Hugh Muscala, Muscala, Macala. because that's a name, however I've ever said it, I've been corrected, whether I'm saying it right or wrong. So Hugh is just up in the open. Who knows on Hugh at this point? Molly Hatchet Live. This is a white label promo. Molly Hatchet Live. It's a 2LP white label promo. Molly Hatchet Live. It has a WLPX 97 FM on it. 97 FM on it. This is a white label promo. We're going to start this. I pulled this out of the high-end bin. It has the original inner sleeves. I'm just going to start this for $5. I'm going to start this for just $5. And this is Molly Hatchet Live. Molly Hatchet Live. $5 start on that. All right, back up to the top. We had David Hugh on DB, which is, I think, Donald Byrd. Right? David Hugh wants Donald Byrd. Buffalo Springfield's at 57. Mass Kayla. Kayla. Massacala. Massacala. Okay, now we're all getting on the same page now. John Young is at 62. Massacala. Molly Hatchet's at 10, 8, 5. Okay, so I think we're now all in unison that it's Massacala, Tanner. I don't think I've ever said it that way. Maybe that's why I'm still getting corrected after 2 years. Massacala. Boy, that don't sound right. Massacala. Hugh Muscala. I like Muscala better. Okay, Buffalo Springfield. Now, how do y'all know this stuff? Did y'all meet them or something? Hey, how do you say your name? Buffalo Springfield is at 62 with John Young. That was the last comment after the Donald Byrd. Then Molly Hatchet has a high bid of $20 with Kevin Willis. Massacala. I've never heard anybody say it. Sounds like a chicken dish the way you say it. Chicken mascala. Yeah, that does sound pretty good. Molly Hatchet's at 22. By the way, John Young is the high bidder at 62 on Buffalo Springfield. Okay. Let me get my knuckles adjusted and my neck and my back. I'm waiting for them to deliver me a new mattress. Mine completely split in half. It's literally like this. I'm still trying to sleep on it, but it's not going to be here till next week, so my back is really messed up. If you're curious. Here's what's left. Frank Zappa, Carole King, Nix and the Sidekicks, Al Cooper, the Rolling Stones, The Doors, Rosemary Clooney, The Doors, Elvis, Neil Young, Foghat, Focus 3, Charlie Daniels, Jefferson Starship, John Lennon, The Fleetwoods and others, The Drifters and others, Moments to Remember, Paul McCartney, Rock and Roll Soul compilation, Hugh Muscala. Okay, I'm going to stick with that. Hugh Muscala. I'll have to think about it, but we can do that. Also, Elvis, Otis Redding, Madonna, Griffin, excuse me. It's like Andy Griffin and Andy Griffith. This is Griffin. Super Sax plays Bird and George Duke. Muscala. All right, Molly Hatchet was at 20, Molly Hatchet 22, Molly Hatchet 25, Molly Hatchet 25, and we have Buffalo Springfield. We was waiting for word from Jeff McMaster. John Young was at 62. Jeff's at 64. Kevin's at 29. It's Hugh Massacala. I'm going to tell them not to put that guy's records out anymore. I'm going to be like, listen, if you run across any Hugh Muscala records, discard them. Nobody wants them. Nobody wants me to hear me say it either. All right, let me go through the next crate of new vintage arrivals, see if there's any auction material, because the next thing we're going to do is show some, wow, is this Dylan and shrink wrap? Holy moly. I was about to say, if this is OG, wow, that's still incredible, though. Oh, wow. That's going to get some furrowed eyebrows, some Wow, this next crate's really good. Let me run through a crate of some new vinyl here on the table right quick. We have Buffalo Springfield 64, Molly Hatchet 29, Buffalo Springfield 66, and let's go through this crate right here. Actually, not that crate. Let's go through this one right over here. He had hit with grazing in the grass. I thought that was Friends of Distinction. Friends of Distinction. I thought they did grazing in the grass. Or did they just put words to it? 4 vowels. 4. Hugh, ma, skay, la. Well, now that's not good because I try to make things one syllable. That's the thing about, if you've never studied the Southern language, we take out syllables. Like our store is here located in Lebanon, but we pronounce it Lebanon, which is a one syllable. We don't like syllables. Lebanon, one syllable. I can say it fast enough to make it one syllable. I got 3 words for you. Lebanon. The Cult Ceremony. This is on blue and red vinyl. This is $39.99. If you didn't know about this, it's a new reissue of the Cult's 5th album from 1991. The Cult Ceremony. That's on blue and red vinyl. $39.99. Blue and red vinyl. $39.99. Billy Idol Rebel Yell is $28.99. Also, Ace Frehley Space Invader, $44.99 for Ace Frehley Space Invader. Godzilla soundtrack is $33.99. Godzilla is $33.99. There's another Space Invader. Also, we have Ace Frehley Spaceman, $44.99. Those, all the Ace Frehley are on colored vinyl. Smashing Pumpkins Pure Acoustic, $38.99. Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits, $36.99. Primus Anti-Pop is $34.99. And Neil Young Massey Hall, $36.99. Let me get an update on our auctions. John Young's at $66 on the Buffalo Springfield in partial shrink wrap with hype sticker mono pressing. That is at $66 with John Young. Also, the Molly Hatchet, Kevin Willis has this for $29. White label promo on Molly Hatchet Live. Don't get those too often compared to as many as the other albums we get of theirs. Molly Hatchet's at $29 with Kevin Willis. That's going twice, going 3 times. Did I miss any other important comments? Baloney. Brent McKinney wants AJ. That's Alan Jackson. Jeff McMaster's at $68 on Buffalo Springfield. Ken Crooker also wants an Alan Jackson's Greatest Hits. Let's see here. Also, Rolling Stones' Let It Bleed is $36.99. Metallica S&M is $59.99. And Ryan Bingham, Watch Out for the Wolf. That's his newest album on orange vinyl. Ryan Bingham is $29.99. John's out on Buffalo Springfield. So, Jeff, it looks like that's going to you unless there's been a ghost watcher and they were waiting to bid. But now that's a 68. Final call to Jeff. And also, Kevin Willis has the Molly Hatchet for $29. Final call. All right, so this leaves the Cult, Billy Idol, Ace Frehley, Godzilla, Ace Frehley, Smashing Pumpkins, Alan Jackson, Primus, Neil Young, Rolling Stones, Metallica, and Ryan Bingham. Yes, the Hugh record, David Hugh, the Hugh record is sealed. I'm not saying his last name anymore. He's now Hugh M. Muscala. Are they going to repress any of the J.J. Cale? The only thing J.J. Cale really has is there is a J.J. Cale collected. I don't think I've ever ordered it because it's 3 or 4 LPs instead of 2. This is sold to Jeff McMaster for $68. This is sold to Kevin. Oh, wow. That was on my monitor. Fred Carnell has it for $30. Fred waited till literally the last second. That was on there. I walked over here and I was already saying sold, and Fred's comment was on my phone. Fred, you got that by a millisecond. Take a look at this. Bob Dylan in shrink wrap. This is the 1967 Santa Maria press. Not OG. The OGs are on 6i, which I don't think those came shrink wrapped. I think the first Bob Dylan album did not come shrink wrapped. Sealed. It was not, I don't think so. I think it was just a loose baggie This is very, very nice, though. This is one of those top copy Wisconsin top records. It's just beautiful. It's a Columbia 2i from 1967, and it is in shrink wrap. That is something we don't get too often. First of all, a near mint Bob Dylan album, much less shrink wrapped, and especially this first album. That's a $45 start. Has the original Jimco price of $3.16. It's now a $45 start. It is near mint, flawless in shrink wrap. Columbia 2i, $45 start. John Young is quickly in. All right, and Fred's out on Molly Hatchet. Kevin has that for $35. Now we can say final call on Molly Hatchet for $35. All right, new crate of vintage arrivals. We have Teetotals gold vinyl from 2009, $14.99. Teetotals gold vinyl from 2009, $14.99. Also, James Gang Thirds, $19.99. These look to be some very clean records so far from what I'm seeing, especially by the tops of them. Bob Dylan's at $50, and we're about to sell Molly Hatchet. Foghat, it's in shrink wrap, rock and roll. Foghat is $19.99 for rock and roll. That's in shrink wrap, $19.99 for Foghat. Blue Oyster Cult, Agents of Fortune, Don't Fear the Reaper, $24.99 for BOC. Also, Jefferson Airplane, After Bathing at Baxter. Jefferson Airplane is a 67 Rockaway press for $39.99. $39.99. After Bathing at Baxter, 67 on that. All right, Kevin, you get the Molly Hatchet for $35. High bid on Dylan right now is $50. Any Jane's Addiction. The only Jane's Addiction we have is Nothing Shocking. Nothing Shocking, except for the cover, because they're sitting there completely nude. That is $29.99. That's the only one I think I have in stock. Sometimes I have Ritual D Low Habitual, but I don't think we have that right now. Shane Devers was first on BOC. John Smetzer, you were second. Joshua said he will take a Jane's Addiction. That's so did Joshua. U2 Boy is $39.99. There is some discoloration right up here, but it's been a while since I've seen one of these. This is U2's first album. Also has the original inner sleeve. That is $39.99 for U2 Boy. $39.99. James Taylor Flag, $14.99. I think Music on Vinyl is about to reissue this on colored vinyl. They're about to reissue this on limited numbered colored vinyl. I got to post the pre-order for it because I figured that'd be pretty cool to see this on colored vinyl. Such a colorful colored record. The flag colors and then the inner sleeve and the gatefold, but that is an OG for $14.99. Boy, this is heavy. That's the heaviest one I've ever had. That's Yes Songs for $39.99. Of course, it's a triple LP, but what else does this have in it? Some kind of book? I'm not for sure, but that's a heavy Yes Songs. That feels like 2.5 pounds. $39.99 on that one. Final call on Bob Dylan. This is a 67 in shrink wrap. Bob Dylan's debut album. That is a Columbia 2i stereo, super clean. That's just at $50. And now we're at $55 with Christopher Morris. Still bidding. Rolling Stones, Miss You, 12-inch single, $34.99 on the Rolling Stones. Also, the Beatles, First Movement. The Beatles is $19.99. Two bids at $55, Christopher and Jeff. Melanie, live at Carnegie Hall. Melanie is $9.99. Also, another Blue Oyster Cult, Fire of Unknown Origin. BOC is $24.99. All righty, let me show you some more auctions. Actually, I think that crate's over here, the Japanese stuff for tonight. What Japanese stuff we did have. Let me do that right now. Let me step over here and get it. Tanner, how much do we normally sell our cleaning cloths for? Because I was going to show those. $4.99, because I found the whole new box in the back that we hadn't shown in a while. I'll do those in just a second. All right, so new auctions. Let's do the, let's see, we did run this Zeppelin already. I don't think I've ran this Foreigner, and I don't think I've put up this Night Ranger before. So let's do Foreigner first. This is Foreigner Head Games. It's a Japanese press, near mint minus and pristine. Foreigner Head Games, this is a $35 start. It also includes this Japanese insert and that Japanese insert. It has a very nice cover with an obi. That's a $35 start for Foreigner Head Games. $35 start on that. This Blue Oyster Cult is $24.99, Fire of an Unknown Origin. That has the hit song Burning for You on it. Burning for You's on that. Also Heavy Metal, which I think was actually on the movie, the cartoon movie Heavy Metal as well. $24.99. Shane Devers wants BOC. Michael Nass at $35 on Foreigner. Oldies But Goodies, Volume 11. First track is Tutti Frutti by Little Richard. $12.99. Hank Williams Jr.'s 14 Greatest Hits. Hank Williams Jr.'s 14 Greatest Hits, $24.99 on that. Also, the Shirelles Sing, the Golden Oldies, the Shirelles on Scepter Records, $19.99. The Shirelles. Bob Dylan, New Morning, $34.99 for Bob Dylan, New Morning. That looks very nice. Speaking of Bob Dylan, John Young's at $62. Jeff McMaster, you're out. Christopher Morris, you're out. You can bid again, or you can please let me know and say you're out for good, and we can sell it faster and we can move on. But if you want to bid, please go right ahead. Wow, gold stamp promo on this Eagles record. Never seen one on the front. I've had hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of these. I've never seen a gold stamp promo on one. Wow, it's a promotional copy too. Promotion use only. That's a promo Eagles the long run. First time I've ever seen one of those. John didn't market it. That might have slipped through John. He might not even notice that. $24.99 promo copy of the Eagles. Very clean too. Can I see the Dylan vinyl? You can. The Bob Dylan self-titled album. The Bob Dylan self-titled album is a Columbia 2i stereo. This is a 1967 Santa Maria. And when I say there's not a mark on it, it's one of those Wisconsin type, like the guy bought it and he kept it like this. I mean, it's just got some light dust on it right now, probably where it was put back into this sleeve after we cleaned it. I'll clean it again. How about that? I'll clean it again and even put it in a brand new anti-static for whoever buys it. I will clean it again and put it in an anti-static. Kara Bauer gets the Eagles. That's sold to Kara Bauer. Which Hank Jr. and how much? That was 14 Greatest Hits. 14 Greatest Hits. Hank Williams Jr., $24.99. Final call on Foreigner. Michael Nath has that for $35. This is Rock On with Buddy Holly, imported from Britain, Music for Pleasure, $19.99. So the new high bidder on Dylan, Christopher, you bid, but there was already higher bids. John Young has the high bid at $62. Mr. John Young, high bid of $62. Our number one Pablo Cruz fan. He also doesn't like the Beatles. Buddy Holly, Rave On is $19.99. Buddy Holly, Rave On, $19.99. Back-to-back Buddy Hollies. 2-record set, the Everly Brothers. That's in shrink wrap, $19.99. The Great Buddy Holly, that's in shrink wrap for $24.99. We have 3 Buddy Hollies in a row. They're all compilations. The Great Ray Charles, Soul Feelin'. Don't know if I've seen that one before. Looks like he's covering C.C. Ryder, the first track, $14.99. Bob Dylan, $65, now $70. Wow, Elvis, Kissin' Cousins. This is sealed for $39.99. Elvis Kissin' Cousins is sealed, $39.99. Now, the really hard ones to get of this album doesn't have this photo. If you have a copy of Kissin' Cousins that doesn't have this cast photo, it's kind of like the Mamas and Papas toilet cover. Never have found one yet. Never have found one without that cast photo. They're out there, but they're just really hard to find. That is sealed for $39.99. Split Ends, Wayata, however you say that one. No one's ever gave me the phonics on that one because I don't think anybody really knows either. It's like the Grateful Dead album that has like a bunch of O's and X's and A's and U's. Jefferson Airplane Takes Off. This is 1966 third version censored. Wow, I didn't know this album was originally censored. This is the third version that's censored, $49.99. Jefferson Airplane Takes Off on the original RCA black label. That is $49.99. Hugh pronounced Hoy. Hugh Muscala, $89. If you're making an offer on the Hugh Muscala album, I'm going to go ahead and sell it to you. The offer switch isn't on right now, but if you're going to make an offer on Hugh and I can send it to a new home, Hugh Muscala, then I'm going to sell it to you. What happened to Hugh? I had it marked $99.99. David Hoy is offering $89.99. It is sealed. Hugh, Mr. Hugh, home is where the music is. Let's go ahead and sell it to him. $89. Not going to turn down an offer on that for $89. That way I don't have to say it for the rest of the night. Thank you, David Hoy, for buying the Hugh Muscala. They're still bidding on Bob Dylan. It's between Christopher, John Young, and Jeff. Let's go ahead and sell Foreigner Head Games to Michael Nath for $35. Let's put up Night Ranger 7 Wishes. Night Ranger is a Japanese press, $35 start for 7 Wishes. It is near mint and pristine. Near mint and pristine. It has the original insert with it. Very nice mint cover, mint obi. It is a beautiful copy, $35 start for Night Ranger 7 Wishes. That is up for bid. Christopher, the reason his bids aren't showing up is because he's bidding on YouTube. John Young has this for $70. I will try to say them as soon as I see them. Usually when somebody's bidding on Facebook and somebody else is bidding on YouTube, I try to call off every bid as soon as I see it. The only way you can see it is, you see where my hand is going up and down? If you can make your screen full size, you may be able to see them pop up whenever they come in. But where my hand, that's the embedded feed that everybody can see. And then you're probably looking just at your Facebook chat. If you're looking just at your Facebook chat at the bottom, if you're on your phone, then you can't see John's bids. But he is at $70. Christopher's at $75. Same thing for John. He can't see your bids in the YouTube chat, but he can see them on Facebook. Neil Diamond, just for you, $14.99. And then I have that same thing. Unless there's some kind of bug for just a second in the software, everything is mirrored onto my phone right here. And it should be able to go all the way to the beginning of the show. Unless I accidentally reset my feed, which you hear me do sometimes, then I lose everybody's bids until they get off the screen. Because I have a monitor right behind me showing everything else. This is sold to Thomas Bowman. Okay, Bob Dylan's at $75. Also, Jefferson Starship, Modern Times, $14.99. Blue Oyster Cult, Cultosaurus erectus, $19.99 on BLC, Cultosaurus erectus. This is Spirit, Farther Along. Don't see that one too often. Spirit Farther Along is $14.99. The Jets is $14.99. The Jets is $14.99. And John Lennon Imagine. John Lennon Imagine. Looks like a very clean copy. Original inner sleeve, $34.99. John Lennon Imagine. It's a great album too. Of course, we all know Imagine. I think everybody on earth has listened to that song. But the rest of the album's great too. It's got some great music on it. That's a very clean Apple pressing with the original inner sleeve, $34.99. Shane Devers wants Cultosaurus erectus. That's sold to Shane Devers. Next is Todd Rundgren. Rundgren. That's 3 syllables, right? That is the ever-tortured popular artist effect, $24.99. Todd Tipton wants Spirit, Farther Along. Chris Kirkley, that was $14.99. If you were asking the price, it's already sold. Todd Tipton was first. New bid on Dylan. New bid on Dylan is $75 with Christopher Morris. Christopher Morris has that for $75. $75. And let's go ahead and make Night Ranger a buy it now. If anybody wants that, it's a $35 buy it now. Night Ranger is a $35 buy it now. John Young's back in at $76. John Young's back in at $76. The Kingsman, Volume 3 with Hop Sticker featuring Jolly Green Giant. Jolly Green Giant. That is $12.99. That is the Kingsman, Volume 3. $12.99. ELO, Electric Light Orchestra 2, $16.99. ELO 2, $16.99 for Electric Light Orchestra. Waylon, Lonesome, Ornery, and Mean, $49.99 for those that don't have this one. It's kind of a challenge to find sometimes. Orange label, $49.99. His wild hair, or not wild hair, he had some wicked hair. He had some like that thick, like Elvis type hair in that era. $49.99. Shane Devers gets Waylon Jennings. That's sold to Shane Devers. Christopher's back in on Bob Dylan at $78. Charles Lloyd, Waves. Charles Lloyd is $29.99. Kevin, you were second on Waylon. Did you get my buddy Wave On claim? I didn't. I saw that, and I forgot to ask what it was. I'm glad you said something. That's sold to Fred Carnell. Okay, I want to make an announcement about a giveaway. Tonight was the cutoff, and I'm officially going to draw for this tomorrow night. I'm going to make the spreadsheet, but I made a post for anybody who left us a positive Google review. Actually, one time I did a promotion for a giveaway, and I had a lady accidentally leave a 0 star or 1 star accidentally. She felt so bad about it, and I was like, well, I don't think there's a way you can edit those either. I can't pull this cover out. Tanner, can you pull that out before I tear something up, please? But I am going to be giving away tomorrow night. I'm going to draw for this. It's 2 copies. I'm going to give away 2 copies of King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Petrojugnotic Apocalypse of the Dawn of Eternal Night. I can't Tanner's having trouble too. Just don't worry about it because it's very tight. There we go. We got at least part of it. It has the gigantic lizard with the kind of factory in the back. It's kind of like a, I don't know a lot about King Gizzard, but evidently this is supposed to be like a harder, like metal type record. But these retail for like $50 or $60. I'm going to be giving away both copies for everybody who gave the positive Google review for us. That window is already closed. I was going to open up again, but if I do, then people's going to get in late, and I kind of gave one opportunity. And I'll do that again. I'm about to do a big giveaway. I'm trying to get our page. We've already surpassed 20,000 followers, but we don't have 20,000 likes. And I'm trying to do a giveaway. I'm probably going to give away a couple more box sets if we can get a bunch of new Facebook likes. So be on the lookout for that promotion. I may have you ask you to share the feed, tag some friends, etc. So I'll be giving away those two tomorrow night. So I'm going to key in everybody's name into a spreadsheet that did that. I'm going to random draw. Make sure you're watching tomorrow. Make sure you're watching tomorrow. So yes, if you left it on Google, I asked it for on Google, but some people didn't have a Google account. They did it on Facebook, and I had somebody do it on something else. They sent me a scratch like, well, that's fine. Bob Dylan. By the way, Christopher Morris is at 85 on Bob Dylan. So that's going once, going twice because John Young's out. Jeff, if you were bidding or were going to bid, now's the time because that's at $85 and that's a final call. And Jeff's in at 87. Also, BB King in London, $24.99. BB King in London, very clean, $24.99. Paul says that's a very solid King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. I'm surprised nobody bought them when I showed them. If you do want one and you want me to order you one, I can get them. They're $56.99. BB King live at Cook County Jail, $34.99. And Van Morrison, Veed and Fleece. Van Morrison is $34.99. Veed and Fleece, $34.99. And the reason I did that promotion, because it really frustrates me. We had a guy we had to block. He bought a bunch of stuff and he didn't pay for it. And so he went and left us a 1-star review. And those just really, it's just nothing ever to do with us. It's always just like people who buy stuff and they can't afford it. And then we block them and then they get mad because we blocked them. And then they start leaving negative reviews with lots of lies. So at that point, I'm like, okay, well, I'll counter that. I'll go have customers leave 100 positive reviews. So that's usually why I do that. And I give away something. Asia, self-titled debut album is a $35 start. This is Asia, self-titled album, Japanese pressing, near mint and pristine, $35 start. $35 start. And so if you ever see people, the other night, this guy created a whole new account. He was still trying to get on and talk to us. I was like, dude, you've expired. You cannot shop here anymore. So that's why I do that sometimes. It's really hard to get people to leave you a positive review unless you incentivize them, which I'm okay with. But you'll always have people randomly leave you negative reviews for no reason. Bob Dylan's at 90, so new bid on that. And we have BB King Friends, $19.99. BB King Friends is $19.99. So 3 BB Kings there. Sherry Darnell's going to get the Van Morrison, so now all the BB Kings are in. BB King, Indiana Ola, Mississippi Seeds, $36.99. BB King, Indiana Ola, Mississippi Seeds, $36.99. Bob Dylan's now at 95. Also, Giant Buddy Holly, $29.99. Giant Buddy Holly, $29.99. Atlantic Deluxe, the Deluxe. The Atlantic Deluxe. What is this? Is this Atlantic Records compilation? It looks like it. Ray Noble, Booker T, Ray Charles, I Got a Woman, Albert King. This is $16.99. Looks like an Atlantic compilation from Ray Charles, Albert King, The Coasters, and Professor Longhair. That is $16.99. Moby Grape, 20 Granite Creek. Moby Grape is $26.99. And The Real Thing, Taj Mahal, $24.99 on Taj Mahal. All right, so let me make sure we're all on the same page about our auctions. Christopher bid 90 on Bob Dylan. And then we had Sherry Darnell got Van Morrison. We have, next was Bob Dylan is at 95. Jeff McMaster is at 95 on Bob Dylan. Next is Christopher Morris put BH. And I think that was for a bid. I think he was about to bid on Buddy Holly, or he's about to bid on Bob Dylan, right, Christopher? because Christopher's at 100. And we have, this is Mill Valley Bunch, Casting Pearls, $24.99. Casting Pearls, the Mill Valley Bunch, $24.99. Asia's a $35 buy now, if anybody wants that. We have 3 auction no bids. Asia self-titled was a $35 buy now. Night Ranger 7 Wishes was a $35 buy now. And Bob Dylan, All Hallows Eve 64 unofficial vintage bootleg was a $25 buy now. That is a $25 buy now. Christopher says, I want the Buddy Holly. Maybe he did. Oh, he did want Buddy Holly. There was a BH in here. This was Buddy Holly Giant. Buddy Holly Giant is $29.99. Bob Dylan's at 100. And David Bowie, Never Let Me Down, is $34.99. That's in shrink wrap. Lionel Richie, Can't Slow Down. Lionel is sealed for $24.99. And the Jackie Wilson story is sealed for $29.99. Yes, Stevie Ray Vaughan is sold. I feel like we need an air horn moment. Michael Nath told me air horn was unnecessary since it was not a record. But I'm like, if you want your air horn moment, Michael, if you're still watching, which I probably think you are, I will give you your air horn moment. But Michael Nath is now the proud owner of the Stevie Ray Vaughan autograph. He said, all good. He don't want the air horn. He is declining air horn recognition. I was like, okay. But yes, that is sold. I still have the Warriors poster. I haven't heard back from the other people that was interested in it. I think they're trying to calculate an offer. But I still have the Warriors poster. Stevie Ray Vaughan's gone. And I got some other autographs, not really music related, but I've got some other autographs I was prepping last night to send out. But I have some that I don't know if they're real or not. I got Clint Eastwood. I know I've got some John Denvers that are real. I've sold some already. I've got some Robert De Niro's, Clint Eastwood, some big movie stars. I got some Andy Griffin stuff that I know that's real. So, yeah. Okay, Steely Dan, Greatest Hits. This is sealed. Sealed Steely Dan's Greatest Hits. This one doesn't have a barcode. I bet if you were to open that, it would be the Robert Ludwig Mix Sonnet, $64.99, or I should say the Robert Ludwig cut. By the way, are we still bidding on Buddy Holly? Christopher Morris is at 100. Jeff McMaster, let me know if you're in or out. Christopher Morris has that for 100. Fleetwood Mac Rumors is $34.99. Jess back in at 105. Fleetwood Mac Rumors, yes, congratulate. That's Michael. That's worth celebrating. That's an awesome piece. We had that fully authenticated from JSA. It presents very well. It presents very well. Michael's like, I might have to get it reframed so it matches the rest of my house. And I was like, well, that can easily be done. That's the thing about having stuff framed. I have posters framed. I usually just do them in plain black frames because it is true. Some people's like, I would buy this if it wasn't framed. And I'm like, man, I just paid $400 to have it framed. So sometimes we leave stuff unframed for that reason. Daniel Cody wants the Steely Dan. That's sealed. Christopher's out on Bob Dylan. Jeff McMaster's at 105. Bowie Diamond Dogs, $44.99. David Bowie Diamond Dogs, and this is an orange RCA label. Very clean. That's OG press of that. Well, not true OG. The true OGs are very, 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 very rare. They have something right here. It looks like, well, you can probably understand. That's $44.99. Also, the Doors Star Collection Volume 2, $24.99. The Doors Star Collection Volume 2, $24.99. The Doors Star Collection Volume 2, $24.99. All right, so we're on a final call on Dylan then. Christopher's out. Jeff McMaster has that for 105. If you're wondering what they're bidding on, final call. I will show it one more time. It's a beautiful 1967 Santa Maria press of Bob Dylan self-titled. There's not really a mark. There is not a mark on the vinyl. It's a stereo press. It is in shrink wrap. It is absolutely a top copy. Beautiful shrink wrap, 67, and that is near mint. Really, really nice. That's at 105, and that's a final call. The Doors is sold to Sherry Darnell. The Doors is already sold to Sherry Darnell. Let me read through a few titles that's in here. Let me read through a few titles, just a quick recap. If you see anything you want, please be sure to let me know. I will tell you a price. Our next auction is going to be Stevie Wonder Best Collection. Stevie Wonder Best Collection, which has an amazing track listing on it. This is a $35 start. Superstition, Higher Grounds, For Once in My Life. That's all on side 1. Vinyl is near mint and pristine. Super nice. Tamala Motown, red Japanese label. The only thing negative I can say about this is it does have some foxing on the cover. There's some foxing noticeable there and there. Those are stains, but they're from humidity, oil, or moisture. That is a $35 start on Stevie Wonder Best Collection. Let's go ahead and also sell the Dylan record for $105 to Jeff McMaster. Super nice copy of that. That's sold to Jeff McMaster at $105. Here's what's left in this bin. We had Teetotals, also James Gang Thirds, Foghat Rock and Roll, Jefferson Airplane, U2 Boy, James Taylor Flag, Yes, Yes Songs, the Rolling Stones Miss You, the Beatles First Movement with Peter Best, Melanie live at Carnegie Hall, Oldies But Goodies, the Shirelles, Bob Dylan, Hank Williams Jr., Chris Kirkley wants U2 Boy. It's waiting for somebody to get that. Stevie Wonder is a $35 start. No bids yet, just put it up. Everly Brothers, Pam Dickens wants Oldies But Goodies. That's sold to Pam Dickens. The Rolling Stones is I believe it's a promo too. No, it's not a promo. It's the Rolling Stones Miss You, and the B-side is Faraway Eyes, and that is $19.99. And that's a 12-inch single of Miss You and Faraway Eyes. Yes, put that Dylan. Tanner's already laid it aside. Yes. Jeff, it will be tagged and rebagged, or it will be cleaned and rebagged. Yes. Donnie Moore said he'd take this. That is sold to Donnie Moore. Tanner, that one was $19.99. Joe Maynard's at $35 on Stevie Wonder. Cynthia Herdron wants David Bowie. I'm believing that was for Diamond Dogs earlier. Sell that to Cynthia. Also, we have the great Ray Charles, So Feelin', Elvis Kissin' Cousins, Split Ends, Jefferson Airplane Takes Off, Jefferson Starship, The Jets, John Lennon Imagine, Todd Rundgren, The Ever-Tortured Popular Artist Effect, The Kingsman Volume 3, ELO 2, Charles Lloyd, B.B. King in London, B.B. King Cook County Jail, B.B. King Friends, B.B. King Indiana Mississippi Seeds, The Atlantic Deluxe, The Jets record, Donnie Moore, The Jets is $14.99. That is self-titled, The Jets, $14.99. Also, Moby Grape, Taj Mahal, The Real Thing. This is Mill Valley Bunch, David Bowie, Lionel Richie, Jackie Wilson, and Fleetwood Mac, Rumors. The Split Ends is Waiita, which I think is pronounced Waiata. That is $19.99. Donnie Moore said he will take the Jets. That's sold to Donnie Moore. That's sold to Donnie Moore. Final call on Stevie Wonder. Joe Maynard has that for $35. That's a final call. And our next Japanese auction is going to be the Honey Drippers. The Honey Drippers with Sea of Love. This is also a Japanese pressing. It is near mint and pristine. Plant and Page side project from the 80s. $35 start, 1984 to be exact. There they are themselves. Nile Rodgers, Jimmy Page, and Robert Plant. If you're going to collect Zeppelin stuff, you got to have this one. $35 start, Japanese press. Pam Dickens is at $40 on Stevie Wonder. Joe Maynard, you're out. If anybody's interested in anything in this crate, right now is the time to let me know if you're interested in anything, because I'm about to do a little bit of condensing, I think, to figure out what I have next to show you. Let me do that. Let me get this crate over here. So let me bring us up a new crate. Would you take 31st? Chris Kirkley says he wants Split Ends. Let me make sure Joe Maynard doesn't want it. Joe, if you don't want this, let me know. Joe, if you're passing, we're going to sell that to Chris Kirkley. Let's sell the Asia Japanese press, which is right here. Sell this for $30. The Asia Japanese press. Sell that to, who just offered that? John Nazarko. Sell that to John Nazarko for $30. Joe Maynard's at $42 on Stevie Wonder, so Pam Dickens, you're out. BB King bundle. I will sell these for let's see here. We will sell these for, is there 4 of them? 20, 50, 65, and 30, $85 on those. And that's a total of 5, 10, 15, $23 off. 85 on those Michael Nath. Joe passes on split ends. Dylan sold for 105. Sherry Darnell wants Jefferson Airplane, which is $85 sold on those. And the other, Pam's out on Stevie Wonder. What was the other? I just missed something else. Honey Drippers is at 35. And Sherry Darnell wants Jefferson Airplane. Sherry, I'm assuming that was Jefferson Airplane Takes Off, correct? If so, sell that to Sherry Darnell. The Honey Drippers is at 35. Final call on Stevie Wonder for 42. Well, we took another dent out of that crate. Does anybody else want to continue? I think I can condense these two right over here. Go ahead and clean up my working stations before things get out of hand, which it can happen very quickly around here. As many crates as I start stacking up, and I have to be careful of my space and crates. We got plenty of crates. I think y'all remember we used to have a crate shortage, but we've really condensed and bought new tubs and everything. So we're on final calls on those. As soon as I come back, got one crate condensed, got a crate emptied. So what I plan on doing for most of the rest of the night, since we've already flew through 8 crates of new arrivals. We have flew through 8 crates of new arrivals. What I plan on doing is probably showing a couple more highlights of something and then taking a pause at 9:30, which is in just in a second. And then we'll probably do a part 2 somewhere in the back for like a buy it now best offer. But I want to remind you before I officially green sticker it and possibly post it in the group, let me show you the new vinyl we had on sale. Let me show you the new vinyl we had on sale in case you missed it. And I think I've added a couple things. I have. So let me show you some new vinyl that's on sale here in the last few minutes of part 1. We're going to go ahead and sell Stevie Wonder to Joe Maynard for 42. And I think Joe Maynard's also going to get the Honey Drippers for 35. The first on sale record was $19.99. So as you know, we don't discount new vinyl a lot. This is the Gold Member soundtrack, Austin Powers. First time on vinyl. That is on gold vinyl, fittingly, for $19.99. I've got 2 of those. Randy Houser, Note to Self. That is $19.99. Also, The Man from Waco, Charlie Crockett. This is $19.99. The Man from Waco, Charlie Crockett. That is $19.99. John Lill wants the Austin Powers. Tanner, that is $19.99. I have 1 left. Also, Blink-182, Cheshire Cat. That is just $19.99. Jerry Jeff, Steve Earle, and the Dukes. That was already green stickered back in June. Somehow that got put back into our regular bins, but that is $19.99. And Bastille, let's see. Okay, these start at $24.99. Bastille, Bad Blood. Bastille, Bad Blood. That is $24.99. That has their hit song Pompeii on it. Also, Iron Maiden, just $24.99 for Peace of Mind. It's also new and sealed. Iron Maiden, $24.99. This is $29.99. This is Black Label Society Doom Crew, $29.99. And this really shouldn't be on sale. I mean, like if no one buys it tonight, it got mixed in accidentally. I'm going to put it right back over here into our other bin. So $29.99 on that. Sean takes Iron Maiden for $24.99. Also $10 off is the Ramones, It's Alive. 2LP, recorded New Year's Eve, 1977. That is $10 off, $29.99. Say Anything in the Defense of the Genre. Music on vinyl. This was originally $47. Now it's $24.99. Say Anything in the Defense of the Genre. That's music on vinyl, limited and numbered. $24.99 on that. Also, Hank Williams III, Straight to Hell. That is $29.99. Those were originally $45. Also for $24.99 on this one. This is Bloodline, Joe Bonamassa's first band. $24.99. I'm going to put this back here with the other $24.99 stuff. The Prodigy was $24.99. Music for the Jilted Generation. Prodigy was $24.99. Ian Anderson plays the orchestral Jethro Tull. $15 off at $24.99. Calvin Ward wants Blood. That's Bloodline. Tanner, that one was $24.99. Tony Shore wants a Volbeat. That would be in that first crate I went through, which was, where is the first crate I went through? Volbeat. This is the second crate I went through. I can't believe how many records we've already been through tonight. Either I'm talking really fast, something's going on. I'm looking at all the 8 or 9 crates we've already flew through tonight. Let me find Tony Shore a vol beat right quick. They're right here. I see the top of them. The top of them are gold. So this, Tony, that's Outlaw Gentlemen and Shady Ladies, $33.9 for that. The Ramones was $29.99. $29.99. That's It's Alive. That was $10 off the original sticker. I am not kin, Rob. I am not kin to Hank Williams Jr. No, I'm not. This was $39.99. That's still $20 off. And this is the Beach Boys Ceylon Sailor. That's $39.99. That's 2 LPs plus a 7-inch EP fully remastered. That is available. And then also, I hadn't really decided on a price on these. Let's see here. Let's do this one first. Let's do $20 off on this one. MoFi Elvis for just $39.99. $20 off sticker. I promise you, I am losing money at that price. $39.99. Elvis Blue Hawaii MoFi, $39.99. Shane Devers wanted Doom Crew. Tanner, that one was $29.99. Doom Crew was $29.99. Daniel Cody, first to Elvis. Tanner, make that one $39.99. $39.99. This next one, John Lill, you were second. This next one will be $20 off as well, which would make it $49.99. That's Elvis is Back. That's Analog Productions. 100% analog and masters. $20 off that. The perforation is torn, but that is $20 off that. So $49.99. That was originally $70. And that's it. The rest of this is Japanese stuff we hadn't put up for auction. So Elvis, $49.99. The Beach Boys was $39.99. And then $29.99 is the Ramones, It's Alive. Hank 3, Straight to Hell. And then starting at $24.99 was Bastille. The Prodigy, Ian Anderson plays Jethro Tull. Say Anything. And then for $19.99 we had Jerry Jeff, Blink 182, Charlie Crockett, Randy Houser, and the Goldmember soundtrack. That's all on sale, new LPs. And then some of the Japanese stuff, we still got Rainbow, Stevie Wonder, Footloose, Fifth Dimension, Mike Oldfield, Pretenders, Elvis Costello, Led Zeppelin, and Zubin Mehta conducts Star Wars and others. We'll probably run those on auction during part 2. 2 reasons I'm stopping at 9:30. One, part 2 is going to be in the back where we're going to go through old bins. Buy it now, best offer. I think y'all like that. I like it myself. You get to see a lot of records. We're going to be back from like 10 to 11 or 11:30. Nothing in the back, and I'm going to be going through hundreds and hundreds of albums. You can buy them or you can make offers. They're all going to be very, very reasonably priced. We have so many records in our bins, and we have crates that we don't even have a place to put them. Highly motivated to sell you vintage records. Just make offers, and if they're fair, you're going to buy them. Also, to do that, we got to go to the back, so I got to unhook this cart and roll it. And I also need to eat, and y'all know how important that is for me. So that's why we're going to take a break right now. We'll be back in exactly 30 minutes. I'm going to eat some of Meemaw's meatloaf, and we'll be back at 10 o'clock to start part 2. Also, my mom, I've already had some of my mom's chicken pot pie. My mom had some chicken pot pie. Very good. I'm going to be eating some more of that too. So, see y'all in exactly 30 minutes, okay? Please come back for part 2. You'll be glad you did. See you in 30.